Hitches, we are live. That would be Merry Christmas to everybody, right? Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass, kiss Mace's ass. All that stuff, all those happy cheers, and I say that with love, in the spirit of National Lampoon's Vacation.
Well, here we're at the end, right? We made it to the end of the road, as Voice Man would say, right? We've here we are. I mean, how many weeks? What's this week's? Well, what's technically be like week 17? Week. Yeah, where are we? Are we live on YouTube?
We are. I don't know. We should be,
because I do not see us being live on YouTube right now.
I'll check it out. Refresh.
Oh, there we are.
YouTube.
All right, I got you. I keep on refreshing. We are live currently on YouTube. Let me mute myself there. You can hear me. All right, there we go. Just trying to make sure we can see the chat.
Well, we got an action-packed show here, buddy. We got 20 minutes.
An action-packed show. Lots of guests.
Lots of everything. Lots of everything. I got people writing me right now, and they're saying, "Are you going to? When am I getting my invitation?" You're getting an invitation to the party right now, as we speak. As we speak, we're sending you that.
So I guess kind of recap, right? We have let's talk about we do have a champion crowned in 5A.
Yes, we do.
We have Maury, who I had heard, we didn't watch any. So one, we have a hard enough time keeping up with the 6A viewers, the 6A teams in the northern region. So we didn't see anything, but I'd heard that Maury was the class might be the best team in the whole state, right? There was people actually. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if who's watching right now, if they can correct me on this. Is Maury the one who scrimmaged Battlefield?
Oh, did Maury scrimmage? Well, we know Battlefield scrimmage Madison for sure, right? We know.
Yeah, but that second scrimmage was I think it was Maury.
You know who can answer those questions for us? Because some of our guests will be able to answer these for us in a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna have. We can start talking about some of these star-studded guests we're gonna have. So on tap for today, we got Coach Doug Craig, future Hall of Fame Coach Doug Craig.
Oh, Coach Van Acker, who's currently on with us, said Dinwiddie. They scrimmaged Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie, okay. Coach Van Acker will be joining us later today. We've got Coach Josh Richards joining us. We got Coach Barry Thompson joining us later today. Like I said, we got Coach Scott Vossler coming on in just a few minutes here, working out some kinks on these emails that go out. And look at this, in the spirit of National Lampoons, like I said, my friend, kiss my ass, kiss your ass, kiss his ass.
So Maury won the 5A, and our understanding is that Phoebus is going to be in the that's at 5. Is that correct? Is that what we're hearing? Phoebus is playing at 5:00. You would think they'd make a day out of it, right? Like you would want to have at least 3 games on the. I guess. Well, maybe you worry about like stacking the games on top of each other, maybe.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're playing at the same time.
Yeah, that's surprising too.
Like you're taking away, what if fans want to see both?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you should be able to watch all of them today, right? I mean, technically, there's only six games going on in the whole state of Virginia. Well, I guess 6 games. I mean, when are you going to start them, right? If you're going to play all 6 games.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. Then maybe, again, some of our guests who are much more knowledgeable, on why things are done a certain way. Because
what do we know, right?
What do we know? We're our way or highway kind of guys.
Oh, the Rio Monet has a comment that says they always do that. They always do that. That's what she told me.
But I understand that. But I'm curious, and I appreciate her writing that. Why?
Yeah.
Like, are they opposed to changing ideas up, even if they're better than the current ideas that they have?
Different schools, same times. Yeah.
I've already made a lot of enemies with the VHSL, so at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Or why not have a Friday, Saturday? Like,
well, what you're better off doing, this 5:00 game's too late. 6 should be late.
Yeah.
Like, do it regular varsity time, and then you could just do it all. Play 5A right now at this hour.
Hey, Scott Vossler.
What's up, guys?
This is going to be like the something about Mary scene in the bathroom. Well, minus the Franks and Beans. But, we're going to have people popping in. We're going to have like a firefighter come in and say, hey, is everything going okay in here? How you doing, buddy?
Good. A little relaxing now, Stress of the season behind us.
Yeah, I bet.
Looking forward to a good game today.
How to equipment how equipment checking going? Is it awful like it always is?
Always awful, but we got our reconditioning out Thursday, so it's all out the door, and we're on to next year.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk a little about Mass in a minute, but like your off season wise, do you give the kids like a break? Do you give them like a break, just kind of unwind? Do you give them a second to kind of just collect themselves for a second?
A little bit. We it kind of depends on when you finish. If you don't go to the playoffs, a lot of times there's you can kind of give off till Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Maybe get back in. If you advance a little bit, it gets tricky. Me being new and wanting to kind of have a first full off season, we took a week off, and we've been back in the weight room for 2 weeks already. So from
when I played, and I did the same thing. I used to. So I was in California, so we could be outside because we had outside courts. I used to do a basketball league for like 2 weeks. Now the kids get into teams. One, it was a good way to kind of integrate like the freshmen in with the varsity guys, kind of get them going, to get them on teams with other varsity guys. Start playing with them. We'd play like a 2 week long league, then have a playoff, and then kind of get them going. Just kind of make it so that way. Especially like you had a long playoff run, you get the playoffs. You're like, okay, let's dive back from sports being really serious to being like, okay, remember it's like had to have fun and shirts and skins and everybody hooping. So yeah, but I know it's tough when you're a deep playoff run. Teams are already ahead of you in the weight room, right? There's already teams who have been in the weight room now for 2 or 3 weeks, and so yeah, it makes it definitely.
We being the new staff, like I haven't been there a full year yet. Just trying to set the expectation and stuff like that, and get them used to what we're going to do and go from there. So it's been good. We got a lot of our freshmen in there already. So hopefully when we get into January now, we're right into the swing of it rather than just trying to get it back together.
Yeah.
Well, hey, congrats on a hell of a season, man. I know obviously it's not, as far as you wanted to go, but you guys were phenomenal. And we talked about it. We talked about it early in the year, and everything you talked about came true. I mean, you guys got better and better and better every week.
Yeah, we have a really good group of kids. When I took the job, I talked to some coaches around the area that had, come into some programs that had historically been successful, and just talked about, how that first year went. And it was funny, you kind of heard some different, but I would say the common theme when I talked to people was, take care of those seniors, but like you're only going to have them for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And then you're going to move on. The core of your team is probably going to be those younger kids. And so, we got there in February, and I'm getting to know the seniors, and we just had a really good group of kids that wanted to be coached and wanted to win this year. And, I think really by late April, early May, we kind of came to the conclusion, like, this isn't going to be a season that we just want to, not throw away, but not put our heart and soul into. And, this group of kids wanted to be coached, wanted to work hard. I think the culture was there all along in the history of Westfield. And so it was even though we changed some things, especially offensively, it was a pretty easy group to kind of bring along. And we weren't really good at what we were doing early on, but it wasn't because we had a lack of talent. We just didn't have the game reps yet. And then I really felt like by mid-season, we kind of got there, and that gave us a chance to compete against anybody down the stretch.
So
we were going to ask a question. Actually, Mason, you were going to ask a question about the scrimmages.
Yeah. Well, we got it. That they had Dinwiddie. That's who Madison. I wasn't sure. I remember it was a team from around there who scrimmaged. No, Battlefield scrimmaged Maury. We were talking about Maury.
Right, Maury.
Yeah. So without giving away all your keys and everything, because you got to see Madison twice, and in reality, you're the only team that played them close all year. I mean, in reality, I mean, it was a coin flip either way. I mean, a couple breaks go the other ways, and right now you are probably in the state championship. What are some things that you feel like you have to do well in order to kind of play with Madison, because you guys are the only ones that do it all year? What are some things that you really have to do well to kind of take them on?
I think defending them, number one is a very, very good player and can really hurt you anytime he touches the ball, whether he's in the backfield, at receiver, special teams. So having a understanding of where he is and what he likes to do in those specific spots. And then I think the kid that is, I don't know if you call him underrated, but maybe underrated to the average fan is the quarterback, 12. When they get in a tough down and distance situation or a point where they feel like they have to make a play, a lot of times it goes through him, and he comes through. In our first game, he made a play on those 3rd and 13 in the late third quarter where he scrambled around, looked like he was just going to run out of bounds and they were going to have to punt, and he turned and chucked one about 6 inches off the sideline in the back corner of the end zone, and down with it and put him up. I think it put him up a touchdown going into the fourth quarter, and it was just a gamer making a play in the most crucial moment. And then later on in that game, after we had retaken the lead, they had a 4th and 4, and they kept the ball in his hands, quarterback design run, and he picked up the first down. So I think he's a guy that you have to be aware of in those crucial moments because they trust him. So that's offensively. Going against their defense, their front seven is ferocious. I think there were a lot of big plays in both of our games on special teams and things like that. But if you really, I think, boil down to what happened and why Madison beat us, I think they were something like 4 or 5 on 4th and 2 or less combined in both games, and we were 1 for 5. So that short yardage, being able to stop people from picking up runs and first downs, and them being able to stop us, and I think ultimately those plays boiled down to why they were able to advance and why we're watching right now. So their fronts, offensive and defensive line, and linebackers really make it tough. And I think today, if they can keep Oscar Smith in those situations where they're holding them to 3rd and short, 4th and short, I think that's going to bode well for them. And if Oscar Smith can make big plays down the field and stay out of those situations and get big explosive plays, I think Oscar Smith's probably going to have the advantage of the game. So it'll be interesting how today's game plays out, especially I think it's the weather there. I think it's pretty cold, and it's going to get colder as the game goes on. So I think those things could help Madison today. But they are one of the things that I always watch when I'm watching film is which team plays harder longer than in the matchup. And every time you put Madison film on, there's no question who's playing harder and who's playing with more energy longer into the game. And they play a lot of seniors. They're not going to be an easy out today.
Yeah. So I think going back to what makes them so tough defensively though. What is I mean, they're not running some exotic scheme. They're not out there, run some 3-3 stack, bring exotic blitz and stuff like that. It seems like I don't want to say they're not basic team, but I mean they seem really solid. But what makes them really tough?
Honestly, what the scariest thing in high school football, in my opinion, is a team that's dedicated to doing stuff right and does it really well. And that's them to a T. They're sound. They know their personnel. They know their scheme well. They are unbelievably physical. They do not stay blocked for very long, and then they run to the ball like crazy, and then they tackle well.
Yeah.
So if you're able in our first game, we were able to run the ball on them at times and get some breakout runs. The next game, we really struggled to do that. And they just, one of the things I watch for when I watch film is how many defensive linemen are taking their hands, extending through the chest, and getting that separation immediately. And all 4 of their kids do that right now. So that's where their problem. And then if you get behind, they're going to start bringing pressure. They do a really good job of the secondary of keeping things in front of them. So trying to make those big plays down the field once they kind of know that you're behind the gun, becomes really difficult. It kind of, leads into more problems. And you've kind of seen that in some of their playoff games where they get a little bit of separation, and then the pick sixes come and the sacks and the fumbles, and then it separates as the game goes.
Yeah, that second game, if I remember, and my memory is, we're all getting older, right? But that was a game where they made the uncharacteristic errors, right? They made a ton of mistakes in that game, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, we made some first. We fumbled the opening kickoff. We got a punt blocked right before half that led to a score. But then in the second half, we kind of flipped the script on special teams. We had a kickoff return for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown.
That's right.
And I think, matchup wise, we felt we could hang with them in space. We thought that was a strength for our team. And so the return game, the passing game, defending the pass, we were confident in what we could do against them. But if you find yourself and you can only do that, then they can play coverage to you. They can really get their pass rush. And you kind of saw that in the Lake Braddock game, I think, last week, where they start making plays in the secondary because they kind of know what's coming. So they do a really good job. It's funny, both of our games that we played with Madison, they were very. I don't know if there was a personal foul, late hit penalty. It was extremely clean, hard fought, and I think there's a lot of respect between both teams about how they go about doing things and how they play, and knowing that it's going to be a close game, so we can't afford to get involved in any extracurricular stuff. It's just a very well coached and classy kids that are playing on Madison's team.
Yeah, that's why I know. So I've never seen Madison play live. This is my fifth year here in Virginia, and I was like, those kids are just hard-nosed kids, and they don't get rattled. I said it during the game too, where I was talking with Dash, where I was like, it reminds me of that scene in Departed where Leo DiCaprio shows his hand. He was like, see that? It doesn't flinch. It doesn't move. I'm steady. I'm steady in all things, and it just seemed like that's what it was. Now they've got a huge task trying to keep up this Oscar Smith team, right? They have 2 Division I receivers on the outside. The kid at the quarterback, it's only a sophomore, which blows my mind. That kid's only a sophomore, and he can sling it. Now you got prepared for Madison's defense. How do you see them playing a team like that, Oscar Smith, with 2 kids on the outside who can at any moment just take the top off the defense and go? I mean, what do you see them doing against them?
That's the $1 million question right today. That's it. Because who have they seen even before you answer that? Who have you seen this year that even, I know not a comp to Oscar Smith, obviously, we're not going to find that. But offensively, did they play anyone with that kind of, you guys were, more of a ground and pound team, obviously. W&L, I guess, maybe?
I mean, I don't know if there is a really good comparison. I think
like
you could argue the best would maybe be Lake Braddock.
I guess it would have been Braddock with Kai Austin, right.
But I don't know if they're in the same. And that's why I think it's going to be important. If Madison can keep them in 2nd and 10 and 3rd and long, and then they can play pass, right? And then maybe with the pass rush and then holding up, being able to play off a little bit in the secondary, I think that gives them a chance. If Oscar Smith, which I haven't seen a ton of them, but what I have watched and what I've heard, they'll get in some tight formations and really run the ball kind of downhill like overload run stuff. And if they can
they run that formation where it's double tight, 3 guys in the backfield, and they just run dead forward. I mean, they run situation where they just run right at them.
They're able to do that and control down and distance, and then throw when they want to, when it's advantageous for them. I think that's going to be a really tough task for that Madison defense and that secondary, trying to contain those athletes. But they can keep them, in long yardage situations and know when it's coming. I think and like I said, the weather should help them a little bit. And just like any high school game, the longer you can stay in the game, the more you believe, and the more the favorite then starts to play a little bit tighter. And I think those things could bode well for them. But if they're playing 1st and 10 defense the whole game, where it's 50-50 run pass, I think that's going to be hard for Madison to contain all that speed.
Yeah.
Well, it really was like something about Mary. You guys planned this. You guys come in at the same time here. We got Prep Redzone's Carl Frederick, and we got future Hall of Fame basketball coach. The man is so busy. He took a few minutes out to join us today. We appreciate this, sir.
Checks in the mail, Coach Dash. Coach checks in the mail.
I mean, you got a game in a little while. I'm not even kidding, right? Don't you guys play today?
Yeah, we play 8:30 tonight over at Alexandria City High School.
Yeah,
We're playing
look at that. See,
we
appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it's called the Big Bob Classic. It's to benefit heart disease, named after Rob Pollard, who passed away many years ago on the basketball court at Dunbar High School in D.C. So they got a whole slate of games going all day today. So if anybody's in the Alexandria City area, you want to catch some basketball, today would be a good day to head over to Alexandria City. They got teams from all over the state playing.
Look at that. And that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I like that.
Hey,
welcome aboard. We were talking a little. We got the game. Actually, let me refresh my screen here because
we got about 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes ago. Oh, mine actually said that it was time. Here.
Oh, it's time.
No,
there we go. Yeah. Hey, Coach Vossler, have you ever had a chance during the regular season to go down to like the beach or Richmond down there to play in those teams down there during the regular season in your year? I mean, how many years have you been coaching up here in Northern Virginia?
Oh boy, 12. This is my 14th year up here, believe it or not. I've gone down. It's been a while. I have my daughters are 7 and 5, and once they came around, my hobbies had to drop off a little bit. So I haven't, not lately, but I've seen a couple games. I know like South County scrimmaged a couple people down there. I think Highland Springs, and I've been to the state championship game a few times before that, but really since COVID, I haven't really gotten down there.
Yeah, there's been a chance to go down there. So we have a kickoff. Alex Smith on the return, and
they just kicked it off
down to the 25. So Alex Smith's going to start 1st and 10 on the 25.
Now the other game's on now too. Is that right? The Phoebus game is on as well.
I don't know. That's a good
I
question.
think that's idiotic. Why don't they do the Phoebus game now?
Off at 5, Coach.
And then at 7:30 do the 6A game.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
I don't understand that.
I'm gonna run for VHS mayor.
Hey, in the state of Ohio, they have 7 divisions, and they play them on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They have 2 venues.
Does.
Yeah, there are 2 venues that are relatively close together, and they just stagger the time so you can go to all 7 games over 3 days. And it's a really cool event. But the makeup of our state's a little bit different. It would be much harder, I think, to do that in Virginia. That's
a big gain on first down there, fellas.
Yeah. They're moving now.
I mean, that was a hell of a block on that defensive back. They didn't get blocked like that in the late Braddock game.
No. I mean, we'll see right who draws first blood out of this. Do you guys think it's important that Madison not get behind early? It's huge, right? For them not to find they fall behind early. I mean,
I also think it's important. The score of this game, the winning team probably needs to be under 24 for Madison to be successful. The higher the score gets, I think the harder it's going to be for Madison to win today.
That was Travis Johnson on that catch on that first play of the game. That's the receiver I was telling you guys about. He's a big-time prospect out of the 2026 class. Like Hatfield was saying on your show, this Oscar Smith team is good, but they really may be a year away from being really good. But we'll see how it goes today.
Also, they are huge. Looking at Madison, they're down there. That 99 is a load. Holy smokes!
Yeah, I didn't know that, and until you said that, I didn't know the quarterback was a sophomore. I figured he was a senior.
No, he started as a freshman last year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you talk about, but it's like an all-star team from down there, isn't it?
Got the makings of one. And
right? I mean, it kind of is, right? From my understanding.
Look at that! They're pulling three guys out of the box because the two receivers are lined up on the right.
Yeah, well, and they stacked them way out there, and that's
I
mean, that makes things really tough to make.
There it is.
About where you're going to play your overhang.
Yeah, well, especially because you have to give those guys a ton of attention, because if you don't, they'll just.
Correct. And then right there, I mean, he tried to split the difference. He's really not able to defend either spot.
Oh, number 6 that wasn't Travis Johnson, was it?
No, he's 1.
Number 6 came hobbling off right there.
Yeah.
Does Deloach play offense? The DB going to Cincinnati?
That was Alvin Jones who went out. I don't think Deloach plays offense, but maybe we'll see.
Right? You got a DB going to Cincinnati or whatever. You don't even need to play him on offense.
Virginia Tech now, remember.
So these are this third and 8. These are the plays Madison's got to win, right? They got him behind and down in distance. And
no, don't let him out of the pocket.
I think you're a little behind. So it was really interesting, that stack formation that Oscar Smith ran. It's kind of you get stuck being like, okay, do I walk my guys all the way out there to cover them? When they're 35 yards, they're 25, 30 yards away from the ball. Like,
yeah, it's tough, and you have to think, where am I most likely to get hurt? Am I worried about the quick screen out there and them running down the sideline, or am I worried about getting, sliced up the middle? And I think that's a dilemma of these teams with a lot of athletes, and they can space you out. That's a dilemma you fall in trying to defend them.
And it looks like Oscar Smith's going, okay, if you're going to walk that overhang all the way out there, we're going to run the football.
Yeah.
We're going to smoke screen them out there. Because they're on the numbers on the opposite side of the field. There's 3 guys over there.
And that big back, number 4, Brandon Nesbitt, he's a
load.
Right now, they're having their way with him right now up front. They're just going right through him. Although I will say this, I'm probably Coach Vossler. You can probably talk to them about it. Madison tackles really well. They're really,
but a lot of tackling in high school football and really all levels of football is playing with the proper leverage. And if your guys are funneling things in the right direction, everybody's pursuing the ball, you're generally speaking going to tackle better. And Madison does a great job of that. They're fitting their gaps. They're forcing the ball to where it's supposed to go. So everybody's angles are right initially, and then they just got to finish the play. Yeah. They've done a really good job of that all year. But you start playing against a little bit faster people, those angles change. Yeah. They spread you out. That's the space changes. So there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment here, I think, early on.
Yeah,
it's a huge third down.
Well, here's that formation.
Well, they had him in 3rd and long before, and it was an unscheduled play. Quarterback got out of the pocket, right?
Yeah.
And
look at that stop.
There you go.
4th down.
There you go. Look at that.
Now, Coach Vossler, would this be a situation where, as Madison defensively, you're willing to give up the 4, 5, 6 yard plays in the hope that Oscar Smith will take a penalty, will make a mistake, or I mean, obviously they're probably not going to be able to just shut them out, right? They want to make them walk the ball down the field.
Make them march the ball down the field. That's going to take time. We talked about earlier how Madison's route to a win is probably 24 points or under. So if it takes them 7 minutes to score, you don't want them to score, but taking 7 minutes to score is way
Look at
better.
that, Madison, the big stand.
Yeah.
So this is huge, and this is what we talked about earlier. These short yardage run plays, Madison's had a really good success all year defending. If they can live in that area.
Borkowski with another big play.
I don't know why you don't just keep doing what you were doing. You tried it on the third down, just do your thing, man.
Yeah, but at that point, Madison might play you straight man and outnumber you inside, and then your
That's
screen
true.
game's a little tougher because they're up. But again, like that is how they can stay in this game today, is getting those stops and hanging on to the ball, keeping the possessions down.
Yeah. My experience in these bigger games like this, obviously basketball is a much different sport, but the longer and longer as the underdog you stay in the game, all the game pressure then goes on the other team because they're expected to win and win with style points. And if you can, they're still kids. That kids make mistakes. If you put game pressure on them, sometimes the pressure, mid third quarter, if it's tight, can flip, and then you can get the mistake. I would think that's part of the strategy.
100%. We felt it when we played Herndon in round 1, and Herndon's a very, very good team. But we felt we were at home. We felt a lot, and that game got tight in the second half, and it was tough for us. We had a couple kids step up and make big plays, but that pressure is a real thing, especially with 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
Yes. Yeah, pressure is hard enough for professionals and college kids to deal with. Then you factor in 15, 16-year-olds. It does things to kids that you're not expecting as a coach.
That's why having a run game is so important, because making throws and catches and protecting, that's multiple variables you got to do. If you can really run the ball and you can turn around and hand it off to somebody that can move the chains for you, that kind of alleviates some pressure off of a couple people.
Again, first time watching Madison up close, the last week. I feel like, and you've had him twice, Voss, is whatever formation they come out in is not the one they end up in. It seems like they shift their motion every play, so you can just anticipate whatever they come out in. It is going to be something different. The picture is going to change by the time they launch the ball.
Yes, and trying to practice that with your 2s and 3s is a circus. Now, thankfully, we've played them over the years several times, so our defensive staff already has a lot of their shifts and motions drawn up. But we start practicing them on Monday, and we spend half of our practice correcting our look team.
Yeah.
Look at Nicely. Yeah. Dude, Nicely still it doesn't matter who he's going against.
I mean, he's an elite athlete, right? I mean, he'd be a starter. He'd be a starter for whatever team he was on in the whole nation, right? There's not a team he would not be.
Do they have Deloach? Was Deloach on him there? I think he was.
Well, there's only one ball, too. That's what I like to tell. Like, Oscar Smith, I think, Carl, you said they got 4 or 5 scholarship skill kids probably, but there's only one football. So you got to defend one of them every play. And if Madison's one guy touches it 40 times and the combination of theirs touches it 40 times, that's a draw.
There you go.
I would think at the high school level too, even more so than a stud quarterback. A stud running back can really control things. I think at the high school level, you'd almost rather have the running back, wouldn't you? The quarterback's nice, but the quarterback has to have receivers to get the ball to. The running back, you can almost hand it to him on 3/4 of every possession, 3/4 of the plays, and really control things.
Yeah, but if the quarterback can run,
then
you kind of get the best of both worlds. And that Madison's got the 12 can really make things happen with his feet.
Just missed there.
Oh, he's going D.
Yeah.
Man. That's why I've been telling you guys. Nicely's going to play like right away at Coastal Carolina because he catches the ball, returns punts, returns kicks. There's a reason he's enrolled. I don't know for sure, but I think he's enrolling. He's already signed with Coastal Carolina. I wonder if he'll be in class in January.
Okay. We are sure he is going to Coastal, so we got that. At least we know that much now.
So Voss or Doug, maybe you guys can answer this question. So our semester in SCPS doesn't end until January. How do kids enroll early? How are they able to get the early enrollment to get out of here in FCPS? Because some places the semester ends in December, so it's really not a big deal.
It's all day to throw.
Yeah.
So we had Tristan Lee a few years ago, went down to Clemson, and he didn't. And it was during COVID, so he ended up staying. But we wanted him to be able to have the option. And one of the things with the online classes,
Okay.
English 12, government, you can take those online and they're self-paced.
Okay.
So you can work through a year's worth of curriculum. They have to do a lot of work at home, kind of on their own time to get through it.
Okay.
But it is possible to get all of the
Graduation
mandatory
requirements
classes done. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a faster track. And that's what I believe most of these kids do.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
What happened?
No, never mind.
I was going to say
my screen just shut off and then it came back on again.
Yeah, I had that too.
I think Madison going on a 50-yard drive. I think that's almost a win, right? To take the ball from deep, take time off the clock. Now they're gonna make Oscar Smith have to drive the football again.
Field, yep. I think this is what they, like we said. I don't think Madison wins a 42-35 game today. Like I think they want to win something in the 20s.
Yeah.
And flipping the field position here.
He took too long. That punt.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Big games, and I know it's small things like that. I know Coach Craig and Coach Vossler have been played on the big stage. Small little things like that, right, are huge backbreakers where things where you can't have like that. Those things kind of happen, especially when you're the underdog.
Maybe they'll show that again. Was that a bad snap? I didn't think it was.
No,
he just came off the edge, the backside.
It looked like he was going rugby kick. Does Madison do that often? Go rugby kick
Every
on that?
time.
It looked like he was rolling.
Every time.
Every time is that.
One thing that's always, something you can't necessarily see on film. Explosive players. When the team has a lot of them, sometimes special teams it shows up real quick.
Yeah.
Because you're playing in a lot of space. There's guys that maybe you didn't know about that are on those teams, but they're young studs in the making.
Yeah.
And that kid just ran off the backside there and was able to track it down. Probably haven't
a freshman too.
Yeah, probably haven't seen a kid all year with that kind of speed off the backside to get it.
I was going to say all that speed over there, man.
That is speed. That kid's a freshman who just blocked that.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So they're gonna stay in this is my guess, right? There's no way so now the overhang walks over, and they're just so interesting thing with that. It looks like when he's out there, they're just running to they're running to where he vacates, right? Yeah, they're just running to replace where that overhang is running out right there. It seems like they're running to that side.
Yeah, they're in an unbalanced formation, so there's only two. One of those outside guys is ineligible, but he can still block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Madison could drive the ball. They showed they could. They made a nice stop. I mean,
that block punt though is a real just gut punch right there.
Well, what's your percentage, Mason? What's the old percentage on that? That's a 40% boost for the other team.
I don't remember what it was, and I've talked about before that I had a head coach I coached for, and he had a percentage on block kicks, special team touchdowns, what that does to your odds of winning, and obviously that's big. Man, Oscar Smith is huge. They got some big kids there. Holy smokes!
Look at that right tackle.
Carl, do they have any kids who look on the offensive line that looks like they might be translating to
I mean, again, like back to that's what I'm checking their roster now. I know they typically do, but I don't know if they have a ton of upperclassmen. Octavian Taylor's 45. He's a decent player. In terms of like Division One, I'll have to double check on that. Not like the quarterback, the two running backs, the receiver, who are bona fide FBS level players.
Touchdown.
They are huge. I mean, but again, they're all looking at their roster. Sophomore, juniors. I see one senior. This is Isaiah Bray's a freshman for them, number 99. He's huge. This is.
Well, it's like Hatfield said. Hatfield had said, he said that they thought next year was going to be the year.
Yeah, and Nesbitt just forced his way in, so it's. Yeah, there's no margin for error. You can't have a block punt. You can't do that.
Can't do that. Yeah, can't have a block punt.
Hey, Doug. So when you're coaching a big game like this with young guys, what are you obviously it's late in the season, so I'm sure you've done a ton of talking to your younger guys. Was there anything you're looking out for when you're looking at a young guy in a big game like this?
One thing we talked about, I talked about with my coaches before we took the floor for the state title was, as a coaching staff, we wanted to make sure that we did not have any emotional up and downs. We wanted to be as calm as possible all the time and act like this was totally normal, what we expected. Because I feel like the kids are already on edge in a big game like this. Now, obviously, football with one game a week and a lot of time to prepare is a little bit different. Basketball, sometimes you're playing 2-3 games in a week. But we felt like going to the state final, like our kids were already going to be on edge, and it was going to be emotional because they're playing in the state championship game. You're playing in a college arena in front of 7,000 people. You were already going to be, emotionally on edge. So as a coaching staff, we literally deliberately made the choice to be very level emotionally. The other thing we did a couple times, we pulled a couple of our kids out early in the game, first 5 minutes, a little bit ahead of schedule, mainly to let them get a break, get a rest early, and let them settle, because we felt like the nerves would work on them a little bit, and they might be a little bit more winded and tired than they normally would be early in the game. By that time of the season, in basketball, kids are used to playing 28 to 30 minutes a game, real, intense basketball, but we felt like the nerves would work on them a little bit. So,
You got to be kidding me.
No way.
Every time I get frozen on my screen, I'm like another play behind you guys.
I think it's Oscar Smith.
Yeah, it's Oscar Smith's ball. Oh, that is. Oh my gosh.
Did they just mishandle that kick? I didn't catch that. I was too busy blabbering.
Yeah. He took his eyes off.
No, they what you call it? They kicked off. It was short. So I'll talk about what I do here. Especially, I don't know about you, Voss, but I think on this, if I'm after Oscar Smith, I take a shot. I take it.
Was that a design? Was that a designed play?
No, I think it was just short.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it was a short kick. It hit the kid. He just dropped it. It kind of handcuffed him.
Yeah, look at where they got one right now. I take my shot and I take it right now.
Big series defensively, I would imagine. You'd want to try
it's huge.
Limit damage here.
Yeah.
I got my guy right there. Blow a timeout. And Dad's say this all the time on the sideline. I go, you don't take offenses take timeouts to call dive.
Well, they had to run a lineman on the field. They were late, I think.
Yeah, I think it was they had personnel issue.
I don't know, buddy. I knew a couple of coaches that would do that back in the day. That's old school football, buddy. It's old school football. Gruden might call timeout to call dive.
You don't want to say, what are we at? 5 minutes in the first is a big drive, but this drive is huge. I think that you do not want to be 14-0.
Yeah. Well, Madison's made two huge mistakes already in this game against a team that has explosive power. Like, you just can't give them extra possessions like this in field position, and it's not backbreaking yet, but they can't have any more of those.
Well, and what's crazy, right? It's special teams, right? It wasn't like you've had two blunders on offense or defense. Both kind of struggle a little bit, but it's two huge plays on special teams that are could be absolutely backbreaking on this.
I'm with you on this, Mesa. Yeah, take a shot here.
Well, 4's off now. Looks like no. I still think I could look because he's on the hash. I don't see anybody on the outside. I think you've got to fade on this.
Johnson,
Yeah, I think too. One of the things that we felt when we played Madison, if you wanted to take shots, take them outside the numbers. Their safeties do a really good job of staying deep and baiting you to throw post. And if you watch their film, they've intercepted a ton of balls in between the hashes all season.
Yeah.
But they do look like they're up a little bit here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look, I know he's outside leverage, but I think I take my Division I receiver and I let him go get one to see if he can make it right. Sometimes you got to let your dude try to make a play. There it is. Look at that. I'm a genius.
No way.
I'm a genius. I was wondering don't know that.
Now, is it still sudden change if there's a timeout there? You get a chance to settle down a little bit. They look like they had it covered reasonably well there.
He kind of splits them though, right? He gets between both of them. I mean,
but you're not in bad position there defensively. You do
no. I think
they didn't catch it. They didn't really catch you the way they could have on a sudden change. That timeout.
You see that rope?
Timeout. You're right, Doug. The timeout was huge there.
The timeout it almost gives your kids a chance to we're back on defense again. I don't know. I mean, everything's sudden change in basketball. So
they called it. Oscar Smith called the timeout, right? That means Coach Counts came running over, and he said, "Look, they're not running dive.
That was an absolute rope by Andrews on that throw.
Yeah, they can throw a little bit. Now, I'll tell you right now, an absolute. If they can get them 4 and out, because they're going to go for on 4th downs. My guess is this is 4 down territory. If they can get them 4 and out, this will be this will give them a ton of a ton of confidence, right?
Oh yeah, it erases a mistake, right?
Yes. Huge.
This is the same formation they just ran on 2nd down, so they've been running to their passing strength a lot here early.
I would think too, emotionally, that becomes a sell to your players. Hey, we've done just about everything wrong so far, and we're still in the game.
Right.
Hard to beat a good team twice.
Yeah.
Like every game that I've played in where we made a big mistake to keep somebody in the game against a good team, it usually comes back and haunts you later on.
I think we had a face mask call. I think the ref just did this.
Late flag there.
It was a late flag, but I thought
I think it was assisting the runner. Maybe he was talking to the Madison kids. Personal foul.
Dead ball. Back. Now dead ball though. I think it was past the 1st down, so it looks like they'll get the first. Right? Because if it's a dead ball foul, they'll get it.
Yeah.
So it still should be 1st and 10 here.
Yeah. But still, Madison still look where they're at. They still have a chance to not give up any points. You got little quads right there.
Yeah. Little quads.
You don't see a lot of 5 wide receivers in high school football, do you?
See all the time. That's all you just.
Wow. Times have changed.
I feel like everybody spreads them out, right? Everyone's got an empty formation. You see it all the time. I mean,
especially against Madison, because I think their best defensive player is 6.
Yeah.
And when you go empty, you're removing him from the box a little bit, which is something he isn't as good at. So you're taking away maybe some of their strength.
I got another.
I like Ambrose. Where's Ambrose going to school? I meant to ask you that, Carl.
As far as I know, he's not committed. I don't even know if he has any major offers as of yet. I think that D2 and D3 schools will come around as they're starting to pick up with a lot of kids.
That a backwards pass?
Yes. Yeah.
So it'll
be 2nd and 11. 12.
They got 12.
Man, because he should be playing somewhere.
No, I agree. I think he would be great in the PSAC, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Pennsylvania homer, but we'll see how his recruiting plays out. And Caley Yates too. Is Yates going to play at the next level? Because he should. I mean, I don't know if he wants to. I haven't talked to him personally, but he's had a great career for Madison. He deserves some opportunities.
So we talked about after the game, and he said baseball is his thing.
Oh, that's right.
He said
that. He wants to play baseball. That's right.
Let's play college baseball.
I just enjoy watching him play quarterback. I would love to see him at the next level playing quarterback, but that makes sense.
Take down right here.
I might need to call Sirianni and see if we can get him. We can get Ambrose up at W&J, man.
Make the call, Dash.
Yeah. Sure, he'll hang up on me really fast, but I'll try. I'll give it a shot.
You're one of those parents now, aren't you, Coach Dash? You're one of those.
I help the program. Oh no.
Oh, big play.
Oh wow.
I'm saying the post always looks open against Madison, but it's rarely completed.
Yeah. Well, because they send that too high look, right? So it looks like the middle of the field is open, and looks like you can get through it, and they rotate pretty well. Well, actually, no, they have the safety in the middle of the field. That's just him throwing up to his guy right there. That's the
backside safety coming in there. The front side safety drove down on the dig.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do a good job of kind of protecting the inside.
Yeah,
it's big down, right?
Go ahead.
No, this is big down, fourth down. Go ahead, Doug. What you were saying?
I think he's going to punt this.
It seems to me, watching these two teams so far, Oscar Smith might be better served running the ball and pounding him a little bit.
They had him.
Oh.
Oh, no. Shoot.
Unscheduled play again, huh?
Oh, we got a flag, though.
Holding.
Oh, a little hold.
They're all coming back.
Yeah, they're all.
Yep, holding.
So they'll punt it now.
I think he got a punt now, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Madison just dodged a huge bullet here.
Oh,
right?
Gigantic bullet.
It almost seems so far that Oscar Smith be better off pounding the ball at him a little bit. It seems like when they throw, they're almost helping him out a little bit, honestly.
They haven't any
run the ball 4 or 5 yards at a clip.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right.
I know they got a lot of team speed, but Madison doesn't seem slow.
No, I'll tell you, when I was watching play Braddock, for what's worse, especially in the middle of the field, they close fast. Those windows are not open for very long, especially in between the hashes.
Bad punt.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Madison's gonna get the ball.
Wow.
20 yards, 25 yards ahead of where they fumbled it.
This is where Duke is standing on the sideline saying, "See, they bleed. They bleed."
Ball's out.
Just a man. He's not a machine. That's what they say.
I mean, that's a few big errors there by Oscar Smith.
Dash, I thought you were quoting Ivory from Friday Night Lights when he at halftime when he's saying that.
Yeah. Listen, and I knew that, I've been watching online with Carl posting stuff. I always knew I liked him. I always knew he was a good guy, Pennsylvania guy.
Pennsylvania guys.
Of us all from Pennsylvania. See, Coach Dash, he didn't know that Mace's a California guy. He's got the palm trees and all that stuff. Almost he's an Ohio guy, but Frederick, Carl, us PA guys got to stick together at all times.
Yes,
I mean, you got the Ohio. I thought
Ohio.
Yeah, you guys are like cousins. You guys are like cousins.
Well, I don't know, Carl. I don't know which side of the state you're from, but I'm from the eastern side. The western side of Pennsylvania is almost Ohio. It's almost
Agreed. I'm from Lancaster, PA. So
he fumbled.
No way! Stop.
Yeah, he did. He got it back though. He did
get it back. You're a hair ahead of me. That's kind of annoying. Let me see if I can fix this.
I'll start delaying my responses.
It's like when I watch football game, when I watch NFL games on Sundays, I gotta turn off Twitter and stuff because my stream is behind.
Hey, Voss. So I know you've run the wing tee for a long time. To get that handoff right when the guy's in full speed, how much do you rep that during the spring and during the summer? I mean, eventually by the time that they're juniors, seniors, they kind of got it, or is that something that you just kind of?
So we run our jet rocket stuff every day. We have practice.
Okay.
So when in the summer, if we have a 2-hour green day, it's a 10-minute period. If you came to our practices Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's a 10-minute period every day where we're doing that stuff.
Okay.
Because the timing's huge, the edge blocking is huge. Like figuring out where people are going to fit on defenders, and that's an everyday drill for us.
Yeah.
Oscar Smith's lining up in the neutral zone.
Nice stop there on second down.
I think for Madison to be successful, they've got to get at least one first down every drive. They've got to keep more time. Three and outs, I think, really hurt them. I think they've got to get just to kind of keep. I mean, you're talking about 2.5 minutes if you can burn through that, get that extra first down.
100%. But the big thing they need to do right now is they need to have a good punt here. They've got the ball. Ball's around the 45-yard line. If they can kick it down there and get them, if they're 20, 25 and make them go 70 yards for points like that plays into where they're at.
Yeah.
You still got to figure out why this game isn't on network television, or at least streaming on network.
Did you bring it up to your boy today? Didn't you go on Ricardo's live stream today or show?
I forgot. I told you my memory's bad. I got brain damage. I got.
We talked about this last week. You were going to say it on his show that you're on weekly.
I'll say it because they got this. They got that Fox streaming, the local streaming network. I mean, all the networks have that.
Perfect.
Now. Because
He'd be all
there's
for
so much
something
garbage
like
on
that.
television right now, other than the Army game.
You know, there used to be a time when the state basketball championships and the football championships were broadcast on like UPN 20 here in the DC market. I want to say like back in like 2006, 2007. Then they kind of went away from it. I'm not sure why. It seems like it should be. I'm surprised the state can't work something out there with the UPN network or something to get it up.
Right.
I think part of our issue in Virginia is we are a big state geographically, and we also division-wise, a lot of the divisions are tucked into certain parts of the state. So like Division 6 is a lot of teams on the eastern side of the state. The lower divisions are out west. So there's not a lot of continuity between the divisions in decision making. And I think that affects a lot of the things that the BHSL tries to do.
Yeah, and then you got the other cameras coming in, and I wonder. I felt like we talked about Tom. We talked to Tom about that, Dan. Was the contract going to be up soon with NFHS? Was that still going on?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said the contract with NFHS is going to be up soon. And then, I mean, we should be able to do at least what Braddock does now, but I know all the Arlington schools do, and put them all on YouTube, right?
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah, Huddle Live also offers an option too, of a live TV, like they stream it.
But then does Huddle own the rights to that?
Smarter men, bigger men in salaries are on this.
I know. Believe me, we talked about this. We because we wanted to air the game and do this, and we were quickly told we could not do that.
That was a heck of a fill by my guy Ambrose right there. What a fill! What a fire!
Well, the Madison run defense started to dig in now. I don't know if you noticed last few runs. I mean, that first drive they were getting gashed, and it seems like they've settled down a little bit.
Physical game up front between these two teams so far.
Got him. Get him. Yeah. Get him.
I hate being a play behind. It's driving me nuts.
Those inside backers from Madison fill fast. I mean, they activate. I mean, you could tell, right? High school linebackers a lot of times, they're kind of stuck in the mud the first couple of steps before that running back's actually got into their gap. It seems like they activate, and they activate now.
All right, so what are we going to do here, Coach?
I think Oscar Smith.
What are we doing here? 4th and 2.
Oscar Smith put their big personnel on the field. They look like they're going to go for it, but this is a huge play for Madison if they can get a stop.
Watch the ball, Madison.
Yeah. Change field position here would be huge.
So this seems like a change in philosophy at the high school level. A lot more aggressiveness on fourth down.
Where is it? That's a first down. If it's where the ref is, that's a first down.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, if it's that ref is, you got a first down. Although, I mean, my opinion, but this type of game is playing into what Madison wants to play in, right? They want to play in this slow, everybody's gonna make long drives kind of game, right? This is kind of what they want.
Yeah, I know they picked it up, but to me, that down and distance this time in the game, like Oscar Smith took a big risk there because Madison has not proven that they can drive the length of the field at all, and they just potentially were going to give them the ball on the plus 45-yard line. I just they didn't make the stop, so they get to keep going. But I think those opportunities for Madison, like that's how they can get a cheap touchdown and stay in this game.
Flip it out to the outside, and man, they rally, don't they?
They do rally.
Madison rallies.
Who was that? Was that me?
Yeah, but look at as they show the replay. Look at how 5 leverages the ball to the outside. He turns it back in. All those guys are running.
I was going to say the same thing. They're not out of control and they rally, right? They all kind of have a space. They all collapse almost like an accordion, kind of bring them in all together. Because a lot of times you'll see, they'll rally, but kids will start. No
way. Oh, come on.
Oh,
pick.
Oh, what a freaking grab! Is that Maiden? Who's 5?
I think 5 might be the kid that broke his collarbone earlier in the year. Maybe.
I actually have it over here.
That's a pick.
That's a basketball kid, number 5, I believe. I think he plays.
Is it really?
Let me get the roster. Yeah. Hold on. I'll get the roster.
It's I can't even say the name. It's Quincy DeWispelaire.
I believe that's him. If it's the kid that broke his collarbone earlier, I know he's a basketball kid too. Plays for their basketball.
I was gonna say I don't recognize him.
Well, he went up and got that.
What a grab! That was amazing.
Great read.
And he just made a hell of a tackle on the play before.
Yeah.
Is that one of their safeties, Coach Vossler?
He did not play against us the first time. He is a safety. He did play against some. He kind of split time the second game. I think he might have broke his collarbone in the Patriot scrimmage at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
and he's kind of worked his way back the last 2-3 games. Because 25 was playing a lot.
Maiden. And Maiden does play a lot.
25, 13, and 5 were the 3 kids that were playing some safety for them.
Okay.
Nice to have that kind of depth, huh? Jeez.
Yeah.
You saw both teams, and Mason and I were asking each other this question today. Top to bottom roster-wise, what was a more talented roster, you think? Raw talent, Braddock or Madison? And I know they're both talented, very talented teams.
They're different.
Yeah, they're different.
Braddock has some really good skill. Both quarterbacks, the one receiver, the tight end. I think the Hibner kid that's going to be coming back is a really dangerous player. He's going to have a big role
next year.
The other receiver, number 1, is a good player.
Paulian,
and then they had the 2 backs, so they could kind of go at you where you were weak because they had a plethora of guys that they could attack. Madison, to me, very much offensive line, and then the 2 kids we talked about earlier, 12 and 1. You had to know where they were at. The game was going to be played through them. And then on defense, Madison, really good group of seniors on defense. Braddock had it when we played them early in the year, super young. They had some seniors that were returners, but a lot of first-year starters amongst some of the other guys. Like the Payne kid was really, really good. The linebacker that's going to William & Mary was really good for Braddock. Yeah. But they had a lot of other kids. We played them week 3. They only had 2 starts under their belt when we played them.
Right,
so
that's true.
I would say Madison was a much more finished project when we played them.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that necessarily Braddock is any less talented. They just didn't have the game experience that the Madison kids had.
So I think this series kind of shows what can't happen to Madison. They can't get stuck in 1st and 15, 2nd and 15.
Nope.
They've got to stay on schedule in order to, and I know right now, when you're coaching defense, it's kind of tough when your defense is like, come on, offense, we need you guys to kind of help us out a little bit. I know it can get frustrating, especially defensively, because they're playing really well. I think defensively, they kind of shored up their things that happened to them in that first drive. So I know, but I'm sure they're staying the course on this.
Kind of surprised Nicely hasn't touched the ball a little bit more.
No, they've been going 3 and out, and that's limited the amount of plays they can run.
Oh no.
Oscar Smith's doing a really good job of fielding punts, and the ball's not hitting and rolling. And then they've gotten, I think on the last return they got 12 or 15. This one they got 20. Those are the hidden yards in games you don't really realize. If this ball hits the ground, because it's kind of a low liner, if it hits the ground, it's going to roll another 20 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Coach, let me ask you all, and I know you have experience. Are you in a game like this where like speed-wise it may be an issue? Are you doing these direct punts? Shouldn't they be trying to punt the ball out of bounds? I don't not want to sound scared or anything.
Yes.
This is killing them right now.
Yeah, you can. The problem you risk is you might kick one for 0 yards out of bounds, and that happens. So you work on it all week in practice, and if 2 out of 3 end up going out of bounds for 5-yard gains, you're like, well, let's just take our chances and get it down the field, but and hope we can cover. But it is ideally you put it 1 yard out of bounds, 40 yards downfield, and then you don't have to worry about a return.
It was funny you were talking about the punts, and I think Dash heard me say that before. I tell punt returns all the time. I don't care if you get any yards, just catch it in the air. because catching the air is going to, like you said, it'll save you, 15 to 20 yards because the ball hit, it'll bounce, and all of a sudden, I mean, you don't have to get any yards, but if you can just feel the what's called feel the well, they keep on missing the screens. Just feel the ball in the air. It's huge.
I think it's a huge advantage in our area up in Fairfax County. If you can catch punts, the lighting in a lot of our stadiums is not real high because they're tucked into communities.
Yeah.
And a lot of times kids they have to catch balls that go into the darkness for a little bit. And if you have a kid that can consistently catch punts, whether or not they can get returns at all, but it's a 20-yard gain if you can catch it in the air.
Yeah.
And if you can get a return, great. But fielding it is huge.
Interesting
that oddly enough, they put the folks on him. I was like, one hasn't got hands on your footballs, and you had to find a way to get your guy the ball, right? And for Oscar Smith, that's the Division I kid. Are they walking back?
That was a good play call. Good mix up there.
Another hold?
No.
I thought they were walking backwards.
I thought so too.
Someone got blown up.
13.
There's a hold. They got
a hold. That's a personal foul too. He tossed him down.
Yeah, I mean, he tackled him. Is that coming back?
Yep.
Is it interesting that you spent all this time in the pregame leading up talking about the Division I kids on this side and that side? The three biggest plays in this game so far were special teams.
Yeah.
True. That is true.
And if you look back to when Oscar Smith lost the game to South County, wasn't the play of the game a special teams play?
Yeah.
It was a fake punt, right? Was it a fake?
Yeah.
Was it a fake punt that South County ran?
Right.
It always thoroughly impresses me with football coaches how much detail work, because there's so many kids that take part in the game, how much detail work that they have to do with every kid on their roster. As a basketball coach, it really comes down to three guys, because they have the ball 90% of the time. In football, it's just so much different how many kids and how many variables you have to account for.
Another hole if they wanted to call that, but not.
It'll be fourth down now, so I mean they're gonna.
That's what I think the biggest thing you're seeing right now, and especially in Fairfax County, Arlington football, from what I see, the teams that have the deepest staffs are really, the teams that are coming out in the top half of their region every year. And a lot of it is because the talent level across a lot of the schools, I think, is a little more balanced than what it was, maybe 15 years ago. And right now, I think one of the big denominators is, how many coordinator type coaches do you have on your team so you can put a guy on offense, a guy on defense, a guy on special teams, and then they do get that attention to detail.
Yeah.
Hey, Dash Mesa, I got a text from my Cole Lang, my coworker at Prep Redzone. He says, my wife just walked in, shocked. She thought he was watching the Manning cast, and his wife says to him, looks like your guys at all Hitches.
Short punt.
Yeah. It's a quick hit, right? I mean, that's what I mean.
So thinking back to what we talked about before this game started, right? I don't know how much time's left, but less than 5 minutes in the first half. Madison's in a 7-0 game. They really have very limited offense so far, but they're hanging in there. They're
right.
You try a trick play or something here, change things up. You said it, Coach. Their offense isn't really working right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't from this field position. When they're back here, if they get closer to midfield, I would. But back here, if you make a mistake, you're maybe giving up 7 points. But if I get a first down,
then you go.
And then there's maybe 4 minutes left. The likelihood of me driving the ball all the way down the field with 4 minutes is slim. So maybe if I have a trick, that's a good time to use it.
Oh. Really interesting. Me and Dash were talking this, oddly enough, just a couple hours ago. I was on the phone with them. What's really been interesting is the last 2 weeks, I feel like the games have been really close at the half. There you go. There we go.
Wow.
So one underrated thing, I think, like you watch Nicely there break out. He wasn't getting closed on. I think he's much faster than he gets credit for.
Yeah, I agree.
Nationally.
Wow. He is fast.
That was a nice looking hold by the O-line there.
What's interesting with him though, and we talked about this when I was at the Madison game, is he's not a tiny guy, but he's not huge. He's not an easy tackle.
Oh.
He's not. he's not an easy tackle. You know, a lot of times guys who are a little more slight are
oh no.
No. Oh man.
Oh man. Madison just fumbled. Sorry, Mason.
No, you're all right.
How'd you get ahead of us now, Carl? Now you were behind earlier.
I cheated, you know. I got my one of these codes, but not road. Oh man, they were dry. That was another nice looking run. Was that Nestle who fumbled that?
No, it was 8.
Okay, right
was,
behind Ari Rosenberg's nice block. They were
Wheeler. Is that Wheeler or Weiler?
Oh, that's Weiler. Yeah.
Weiler. Oh man, that hurt.
And that kid's a load. That's a big boy.
A load.
Oh man, that's killer.
Shoot.
So what I was saying was that
to your point, Mason. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
A lot of the games been close to the half, right? The Maury game was close to that. Close to the half. I mean, even the Madison Braddock game was close to the half, and then it seems like in the second half something happens, and then they kind of pull away.
Well, I think too in these winner take all games, if you get behind and then there starts to be a little bit more separation, you got to start taking more chances. Things can snowball on you in a hurry.
That's what we've seen. I mean, they don't. I mean, look, 7-0. I just feel the way this game's going, you do not want to be 2 scores down.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, when you're coaching in big games like this, I know basketball different time-wise goes, but do you get an idea when you want to start taking chances, when you want to start gambling a little bit, you know, when you're training a little bit? I mean, is it just by feel, or do you have you're like, okay, when I get to this point, if this is the point differential, this is what I've got to do?
Yeah, I think sometimes that decision's made by if I feel like I got the upper hand talent-wise or not. I feel like if you have the upper hand talent-wise, you might try to force the issue a little bit earlier to stay out of that late game, pressure situation. I feel like sometimes if I feel like if I'm the lesser talented team, I want to just keep it at status quo as long as possible and try to steal it late. But again, basketball, there's a lot more possessions,
right.
A lot more time to do stuff.
Right.
You can really, if you're like me and I'm a hoarder of timeouts, you can really slow the last 3-4 minutes of a game down to a crawl and really control. It's almost becomes like football where you can almost get a break on every possession, and you can really get creative. But I think, sometimes if you feel like you have an advantage at a certain position, you can force some things.
Yeah.
If you feel like the other team maybe is a little weak ball handling or something like that, you could force the issue earlier in the game and try to expose that. But I think I think it depends on what side of the coin you're on in terms of the talent disparity.
I've noticed Oscar Smith hasn't let the quarterback keep it all yet. I've noticed a lot. I mean, it's been a lot of give where he not a lot of play action with them, not a lot of boot, not everything else with them. So I'm curious if that's in their playbook at all. Because I mean, they've got those guys. They've got Madison sucking in now every time they get.
He doesn't look like, just from the little bit I've watched, even when he has pass plays where lanes open up for him to run, he doesn't look like someone that's a run first guy.
He's not a willing runner.
Yeah, well, I think he can. He looks good when he does run, but it doesn't look like it immediately clicks in his head that it's time for me to run.
Yeah. Oh, did he catch that? Oh.
Yeah.
3rd and 3 though, and they chose to pass.
Yeah.
So Madison run defense has stiffened up a little.
Oh, for sure. They're. Oh, that's tough.
That's tough putting Salvosa out on a receiver like that. He's a good player, another outstanding linebacker, but put him on a quick receiver like that, that's a tough matchup.
Well, they sent that running back out into the flat on that motion, kind of got everybody's attention going that way, and then kind of open up the middle of the field right there, right? Yeah.
They are tough in the run.
Quarters coverage, they got to push that across. So that outside backer's got to go with the back, and that Mike backer's got to slide to the slant, but that's a lot of space. Now,
does Madison run a lot of quarters? Do you feel like that's their base? I mean, is that what they run a ton of?
Yeah, no, they'll send an inside backer every now and then, and kind of leave a zone uncovered. But they're a quarters team, and they'll change it up and invert some of it sometimes. But that's their base.
Yeah.
Holding.
Another one. Boy,
they needed that because I feel like with 2 minutes, that's an eternity with all the speed they have at Oscar Smith.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, they've done a good job, right? keeping those deep shots, right? They've done a good job of limiting those explosive plays, which I'm sure was a huge part of their game plan, right? You can't let those kids just beat you over the top.
Right. And they're holding up enough in the run game where they can keep their safeties back and not ask. They don't have to play one-on-one football on the outside. So This game is playing out for Madison how they can win. They got to stop turning the ball over.
Right.
They stop turning the ball over, stop having special teams mistakes. They punch one in, and they're right in it.
And that last drive, I think Madison now has to have a sense they can run the ball on them too. I mean, that was 2 really good runs. Get the run game going after halftime, or if they're going to get the ball back here before about 1:51.
Yeah,
it's a really good screen down right here. If I'm Oscar Smith, Madison notoriously likes to bring pressure. You could get one of these guys on an inside screen or halfback screen or something.
It's interesting. Madison has a very senior-laden team, is almost playing like a senior-laden team. They've made some mistakes, but they haven't panicked.
Right. I mean, yeah, I see what you mean there, right there. He had an opportunity where he could have kind of scooted a little bit and taken off and got some yards, and he was a little reluctant to.
Yeah, he's an eyes downfield quarterback, which can be really good, which can be really good for you. But I do think if he was a more willing runner, he probably maybe creases them a time or two in this game, just because of how hard Madison rushes the passer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's a lot of times you're right. He could have just taken off and gotten 15, 20 yards probably a few times.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Is that the hardest thing now at the high school level to defend against as a quarterback that can run and make plays off schedule like that? Is that really the toughest thing to scheme to stop?
Yeah, because once he pulls the ball down, it's backyard football to some extent. So you got to match up in the back, keep track of people, and then you got to try to rally who's ever left to the ball. When you're facing a really good running quarterback, your pass rush lanes, those guys being disciplined, not crossing over to the other side of the quarterback or rushing behind the quarterback, keeping bodies in front of them so they don't feel like they can pull it down and run, becomes paramount. But that's a really hard thing to teach high school kids. You know, they want to go get the sack and be able to pound their chest and celebrate. But when they rush past or rush across the quarterback, it creates huge alleys for an athlete to run. And then it's like defending a kickoff. The kid's running downfield in the open field, and you got to get him to the ground.
Yeah, and you know, it'd be great if you had more, but most high school football players are not great open field tacklers.
Nope.
You know, most of them are not, and you get a good athlete out in space, and now all of a sudden, you know, you really got to break down. Especially the quarterback's a decent athlete, and he's got moves. He's got a little wiggle to him. You know,
I mean, that's the nature of the college and programming too. Like, they want to get their athlete in space so they can make the other athlete miss.
Right.
I mean, those guys don't miss in closed areas.
Yeah. But that's where, you know, the example was that on that screen that Madison rallied under is your guys understanding where they need to be, closing the space, so you don't have to be a great open field tackler, right? I've got 3 guys. They're all going to settle down, make that guy make a decision, then they close them up right there.
100%. Which, by the way, I mean, once again, our man Quincy D, we'll just call him Quincy D, I mean, in on that play. He's a stud. Number 5 is an absolute stud.
Now, Madison has the ball at the 35, their own 35, 1:10 left. You going back to the run game and then maybe a quick timeout or
I think you try to pick up a first down and then see where you're at. The worst thing you want to do is have to play defense again this half.
Right. Give your guy the ball right there. Right.
There it is.
You can play with some tempo here.
Yeah.
And then if you get it, now you've probably secured the half, so you can be a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even on a punt, if you get to the 50, that's smart. So the thing I liked about that play right there was he didn't press the issue. He didn't turn on the football, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do anything that was going to hurt you.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times the young quarterback in that position might try to make a play, throw it inadvertently down the middle of the field, and then pick, and then
got him.
Oh no!
They bubble goat him.
Yeah.
Oh man, Coach Counts is gonna be killing himself inside right now. All these mistakes, and they're down.
They have
7-0.
had their chances. They have had their
Holy
chances.
cow!
Hey, there he is. What's up, Coach? Coach Crush joining us.
Yo.
What's up, Max?
Up his Christmas shopping and getting all those gifts, and now he's ready to watch a little football.
Yeah, man. Yeah, did some errands with the wife today. Went up to them outlets at National Harbor and stuff.
All right.
Did you see that missed touchdown pass right there?
No, I'm just getting back to the house.
Oh,
I see the score though.
Yeah, I mean it's big. We talked about it. So you got done just playing Madison. What really impressed you about offensively on their offensive line? Because I know you're playing with the front. I mean, what are some things you really liked a lot about their offensive line that you were impressed with?
They execute well, man. The way they sequence their plays and the way they attack your front. I mean, their plan is very deliberate with how they go after you. I mean, we had a kid this year I talked about something Payne, who was pretty good, and they did a good job of no matter where we were putting them, they made us wrong, with the way they could use their play calling. And they nicely is obviously the stud, but they do a good job of using him as a decoy, and then they can still operate their offense really effectively with the other backs that they have. And so they're just really tough, man. They're good at the point of attack. They know how to double team at the right place at the right time, and they run the program well.
Yeah.
Look at that. We got a comment on here. Should have been Westfield in the state championship. That's a diehard fan right there. That's a diehard.
They need a better head coach.
That's the line of the day.
I told you.
We're at the half, guys. 7-0. Who? I mean, I did not have that on my bingo card. 7-0 at the half. I mean, that's I mean,
Madison has a block punt. They fumbled a kickoff. They fumbled a run.
Inside
they're
the 20.
down 7-0. Like they gotta feel like we can play better than that. And they missed a wide open receiver down the sideline on 3rd and 1. So they gotta feel like we can play better. We can close this gap, and we're going to be in this thing down the stretch.
They should be feeling better offensively now after those last 2 drives. I know they didn't end with points, but they established what they wanted to establish those last 2 drives. And
if you're Oscar Smith, you're thinking, well, defensively, we've pretty much pitched a shutout. We got the lead. We're where we need to be. Both teams can walk into halftime feeling good about certain things.
Yeah. So I'm curious if Smith's going to try to find more ways to get the football, that receiver. I mean he's only touched the ball twice. Yeah. I mean the kid's a Power 5 kid who's
sneaky. I think Oscar Smith could get in that big personnel and really lean on Madison, but it is not who they are. And so I don't know how much of that we'll see. But if I was them, if I get the ball back with the lead, I would test that out a little bit because I do think their size is a problem for Madison. The problem is they've been throwing it here or getting hit in the backfield on a slower developing run, and they've gotten behind the chains, and they've gotten penalties on some of their longer runs, and that's kind of held them back.
Yeah.
It also shortens the game for Madison and makes it tighter going late, which is exactly what they probably want to avoid. Yep. It's interesting. Well, Coach Dash, Coach Mason, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I have to jump off. Some of us have to work tonight. It's not
some of us have to coach for a living. No, you're around all these coaches. You're the only one coaching right now, buddy.
Listen, it's not all sitting around eating pastrami sandwiches from the Celebrity Deli. You know what I'm saying? Work for a living.
Hey, bud, thanks for coming on, man. It was great having you. Hey, good luck today, too.
Thanks, guys. Hey, have a good night. Enjoy the second half of the game. Looks like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, good luck tonight, Doug.
Coach.
All right, Doug.
Future Hall of Fame coach, Doug Craig.
Max,
look at that. One door closes, another door opens. Oh, my God. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You got to unmute yourself, VA. Remember the old COVID days? You got to unmute.
My first day.
That's fantastic. Welcome aboard, buddy.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
up, Coach?
So what do you think of the first half, PA?
What's that?
So
Boss.
Hey,
What'd you think of the first half?
I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you. As close as it is, Madison's doing a great job for all the mistakes that they've already put forth this first half. So without Oscar Smith really capitalizing a whole lot on it, I'd be feeling good. Never super positive at halftime, but I'd be feeling good if I was Madison right now.
Yeah, that's what Voss was just saying, and I actually agree. I would too. After all that craziness that went on, you're only down one score, and you're getting the ball back at halftime. I mean, that's a win.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on the flip side with Oscar Smith, they're so in tune. They've been here, done that so many times. I'm not hitting the panic button, but at the same time, in the back of your head, you're starting to think like, uh-oh, we're letting these guys stay in this thing, and that's never something that you want to do to a good, well-coached team like Madison either.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's 7-0 at a half, and get the ball back, and one drive, you're a tie game, and now I mean, you got anything goes with that.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
Yeah. One play.
I mean, they could tie it up, and it's a shame of it is that, I mean, it probably should be a tie game right now after watching that. I mean, he was wide open.
Yeah.
I dare to say, no, I'm not going to say I could make that throw, but but he was pretty open.
So Max, you winding down a little bit off the season. You breathing a little bit after going that long.
yeah, the hardest part after a long season like that, particularly as a position coach, is just your seniors. You miss being with the crew and being around them every day at practice. So I mean that's the hardest part more so. You just wanted that one last week of practice and being back out there on the field, just because you get real tight with your boys. This is the first group I've been with 3 years at LB. So I'm just real close to them. So a lot of success, and that's what people tell you when they pass you in the halls, and all good things. But for the coach's part, it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna miss being out there with the guys. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Congrats on a great season, Crush. You guys, as a team, and then your D line, man. You guys, I saw you guys play several times this year. You guys were all over the place.
I appreciate it, man. It's fun. It's my first time since I've been up in Northern Virginia having a region defensive player of the year. So I had some success like that down south, but first time up here, and so it's a lot of fun. But he's a senior, so I'm hoping that we can take it as high as possible. Hopefully, get first team all state. See what happens with that. But there were some other seniors with that group who are really important as well. So. It was a good year and individual successes and team successes, but it was a really fun group, man. And to learn going against Vossler's boys early in the year and then Madison, those tests early, they kind of help us fine tune and try to figure out our identity a lot better. So by the time we get to midseason, we have a little better idea what we're working with.
Hey, Coach Crush, real quick, I just want to mention. I know you're real sad that all those seniors are leaving, but we're certainly not.
I figure you might say that. I wish they could have gone out with a dub at Westfield on your field, but unfortunately that night, man, that second half, you guys played great, man. So yeah, it's. I'm sure Payne would like another shot at that group because he had a decent.
He's got to be tired because he had like 40 tackles.
Yeah, that was a pretty good night for Xavier Maine too. Actually, he had a pretty good night that night. But yeah, you guys got a lot of guys coming back, so we know it's going to be a big problem seeing y'all again early in the season. But it's great. It's great for us as a program to get that kind of tune up early. I think Doc does a good job with it, and we know you guys are. Well coached, have a good staff over there, from Badland and Patriot too. So I mean, it's good for us to play that kind of team early in the year. And you guys, great job for you too, Coach. Because I mean, you took Madison to the wire in that playoff game, and you guys, I mean, y'all have a great team. We know what kind of team is coming back next year.
Well, we hope it's a long way away from right now.
Fair enough.
Hey, so Voss, your schedule done for next year? Do you guys have Braddock next year? Is that finalized?
I know my schedule. I don't know if I'm allowed to know it.
Oh, okay, That's
but Braddock was one of our choice. Braddock was one of our choice games.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, you guys don't duck anybody. You guys definitely play a tough schedule.
Well, we will try to. We just don't have a lot of options a lot of times. We'll try to duck people. But no, I've been playing against Doc for a long time, and it's fun. The way in our region, the way they're going to seed the playoffs is top 4 in your district, Liberty and Concord. And so your non-conference games now are going to become glorified scrimmages to some extent. They're more for improving. And so going out and trying to schedule the toughest competition you can, I think, as long as you can stay healthy, it just benefits you down the road.
Yeah. Who'd you guys scrimmage, Coach? Would you guys scrimmage Patriot? Is that right?
We played Patriot week 1, but we scrimmaged Robinson and Independence.
So what was your? I mean, is there a lot of difference between playing teams out in Prince William? I mean, do you notice any differences? They seem like pretty much similar. I mean, is there anything as far as style of football goes out there? And that's
I think Patriot was the most talented team we played against all year.
Okay.
And we played them early. They were still healthy, had their full roster at that time, and I thought super dominant on the offensive and defensive line. They had a really good linebacker. Quarterback was very good. They had a really good receiver. Like the complete team. We obviously weren't quite as good as I think we ended up being later on in the year, but we felt completely overmatched in that game. And we were able to do a couple things, but like we were not consistently able to do anything in that game where we could kind of come back to it, and it was kind of try to sprinkle in some things here or there. We thought very highly of Patriot when that game was over.
Yeah, that McCarthy was good. Same thing in VA. Do you see a difference in style of play between the two? Because I mean, you've done 2 stints in PW and 1 stint in Fairfax. Actually 3, right? Because Freedom South Riding, right, is technically
it was loud.
It was loud.
I've been there all over. I mean, I think. Not showing favoritism towards any of the groupings. I think, Patriot is definitely a very, very solid team, like Voss was talking about.
Yeah.
Battlefield was very solid again this year. Losing Callum, starting quarterback right before the playoffs. I know that definitely hurt. Patriot losing Jackson McCarter, that definitely hurt them as well. So, in that Prince William County component, there was a lot of tough teams there that kind of beat up on each other. And then when it came time to go, I was at that Colonial Forge Patriot game. Colonial Forge, very dominant in that game. What would have, there's always the what ifs, right? What if Battlefield's quarterback O'Shea doesn't get hurt? What would Patriot have been with Jackson McCarter and a couple of the other kids that they had due to injuries? But that's kind of high school football, though. It's who can withstand the injuries and the attrition of a 10-game regular season and so on and so forth. And that's one of the hidden components of high school football is numbers game, like how many kids you got coming out for football. I know in Prince William County, we have like maybe 3 or 4 schools that, have 100+ kids in the program, Battlefield, Patriot, Gainesville, Forest Park, Colgan had, a big group. And then you had a big drop off where a lot of programs could maybe barely field a JV team, let alone a varsity team, where when I was in Fairfax County, you had 3 teams, pretty much almost every team, every program. So, the numbers game, the attrition, that's a hidden component of high school football that a lot of people don't really look into.
I feel like the biggest difference outside looking in, obviously, or the biggest difference was the amount of freaking running backs and just ground games in Prince William. I mean, you could just
and
rattle
Virginia
off.
Alone this year, Coach, the 2025 running back class was incredible.
It was insane. And half of them were Prince William guys. From McCarter, Herman Jackson.
Sage Davis.
The guy that you guys had that got hurt, VA.
Logan Marshall, Landon Hunt.
Right.
Sage Davis,
you can just go on, and you can count the battlefield quarterback. I mean, essentially, he was a running back. I mean, you can just go on and on.
Even like Northern Virginia, I mean, with Nicely, Kennedy Duda, it was a great group this year.
Yeah. Well, crushing over there, Lake Braddock, they had a 1-2 punch with Peyton Holmes and I can't remember the other kid's name, but he was kind of like Thunder.
Yeah, they had a 1-2-3 punch. Yeah, Dirty Harry Callahan coming on.
Yeah, is it Callahan or Callahan, Coach?
Callahan. I never had the heart to tell Dash and Mesa they were doing it wrong all year. But yeah, because at one point in time they called him Brownie Callahan. I'm like, it's just Brown and Callahan, but they make so many good jokes, man. I had to let it go. But yeah, he was a big spark whenever he got to come in. He came on later in the year. And then
I thought
JT
he was the
Payton,
difference in the South County game when I covered that.
Yeah, that was a fun. Him when he came back first at West Springfield week, and was a big boost. We had a big night on the D line that night. He didn't play any O, and then the following week he was kind of because JT was out. Brown came in off the bench, and Peyton had a good night. Peyton had I don't know what he rushed for, buck 50 something like that. But Brown ended up coming in. He's one of them kids where as soon as he gets on the field, like. You feel it on our sideline, the little everyone whispering, "Oh, Brown's in," and how it's going. So that was a fun night too. That SoCo game, that was a scrappy battle that night. We didn't get a lot of. I don't remember what our passing yards were that night, but it was all about running the ball that day.
Yeah. Hey, so I had a question. So especially I guess Dash and Voss and VA because you guys have been here for a little while. It seems like the football in Stafford seems to be on the upswing. Or it hasn't always been like that, but it seems like there's those three teams out there right now between Colonial Forge, Stafford, and North Stafford seem to be on the other. Are they been emerging, or has that kind of always been like that down there with them?
Well, I mean, I've gone against those teams for many years. North Stafford used when Coach Mangano was the head coach there. He's a heck of a coach, and now he's an assistant at Colonial Forge, and his two sons are monsters there for Colonial Forge this year.
Jake was the defensive player of the game, right? Or
he
of the year.
He was a monster at nose guard. Oh my goodness! Shepherd got a good one with him.
Yeah, they did. I think they got a steal.
And then Colonial Forge with the Browns. His father was the one of the first coaches at Hilton High School that won a couple of those state championships at Hilton High School. So very well coached. There's a lot of great coaches there. We even mentioned Mountain View this year. Mountain View kind of had a downfall a little bit this year, but Sorrentino coaching out there, great talent. So I mean, very very well coached football programs there, and so a lot of talent as well.
Yeah. Hey, Voss, so they're talking about doing a realignment in 2026. Is there anything that you would like to see them do, VHSL, as far as realignment goes? I know it's a huge question, and I'm sure I'm sure there are a lot of things, but anything in particular you're like, I think there's maybe a couple things that's for sure they need to get done.
I don't know if this is possible, but I think we should really think in the VHSL about having a structure for team sports and having a structure for individualized sports like track, swimming, wrestling. I think trying to have both types of sports operate under the same structure, division-wise, region-wise, I think really causes some unfortunate situations and not unfair, but just things that could be better. I know in some states they have a 6-division set up for team sports, and then they have a 3 or 4 division set up for individual sports. And I think that flexibility allows things to get a little more balanced out as far as, trying to host all these tournaments and making them somewhat equitable. I think that's something I think we could look into, but the state of Virginia, I think geographically it makes things tough because there are literally certain pockets of the state where certain divisions only reside. And I think because of that, it gets difficult sometimes to do anything that's uniform across the board. I think right now in Division 6, Region A, it goes from the beach all the way to Richmond, right? And there's only 8
12.
teams.
Yeah.
It's not many. And it just, all of the Division 6 teams are in Northern Virginia, or most of them, and then there's a little pockets elsewhere. It becomes difficult to set up a structure, I think, that works for everybody. I think right now Region B has a lot of teams in it.
Like 25, right? Something ridiculous like that, right?
Yeah, right at 20, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of quality teams. And it's difficult. It's a difficult situation to work through. I think if we would have some flexibility of how we design stuff, I think that might help a little bit better. Like, do we need to be in the same regions for wrestling that we're in for football? Or for basketball as we're in for track. Like, would it make sense to divvy that up a little bit different? I think that's something we could look at.
Yeah. I know I've talked to Dash before about this, and I think a lot of states do this. California has done it for a while now. Football gets treated differently than other sports. Football, the way football's playoffs are set up, the way the division is set up, it's something completely different than the other sports. But I think it just makes sense, just and the national way football is.
That's how Ohio is too. Ohio has a setup where they take all the teams for football, they divide them up by division equally, and then within those teams in each division, they're divided up equally by region. So if there's 15 in one, there's 15 in all of them, or 15, 16, 15, 15. But then for all other sports, there's a set structure for where you're going to be, and it doesn't change year to year.
Now VA, how does, and I know the answer to this because we've talked about it before during many lunches. How are the football playoffs set up in Illinois?
Well, I'm kind of sporting my shirt right here, my sweatshirt, 50 years of high school football and playoffs in Illinois. Speaking of which, but I actually love how we used to do playoff system in Illinois. I think it would be something that would be really interesting to see here in the state of Virginia. So how they do it now, the only thing that I don't like about Illinois is the preps and privates play together. And so then what you got was like my small farm town that I grew up, where we had 64 strong on varsity, having to go up against the private Catholic schools from Chicago that can recruit. And, they got a 120 person roster, and they got Mike Allstott and all those guys on it. And we don't face them until we get to the state championship. So, we won 4 state championships, had 7 state runner-ups, but those 7 state runner-ups are against those Catholic school private schools from Chicago. So I would love to see how we do it. That same system in Virginia, how they do it is we don't know exactly what class system we're going to be in at the very beginning of the season. So what they do is they take all the conference champions, which I liked back in the day when I first started coaching in Virginia, that if you won your district, you automatically made the playoffs. And then what we do is we take that group, and then we take, all the winning teams we only played 9 regular season games in Illinois too. So if you had a winning record, you automatically made the playoffs. Okay. And then they take that number and they divide it among our classes, and then they find the bubble teams, which are your 5 and 4 teams. And there might be only like 4 to 6 5 and 4 teams that actually make the playoffs. So every team is a winning program that makes our playoffs. Okay. And then what they do is then they take enrollment and they say, oh, these 32 teams, that's 1A. Then they go up to 2A. So you don't know if you're going to fluctuate between like 3A, 4A, like my high school. And so that was always really, I think, fair. You got teams that always had winning records. You didn't have, unfortunately, like one of my closest friends played high school football. He was the head coach at Jamestown last year. He didn't win a game in the regular season, but because they only had 8 teams in the region, he had to play Phoebus in the first round of the playoffs, and he got beat by 100 points. And then he probably lost his job because he didn't forfeit the game.
Wow.
So it's one of those things that like there's no way he should have, and he himself. There's no way they should have made the playoffs. But if you're gonna put me in the playoffs, I'm gonna play the game.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Madison got the kickoff. Like 2nd and 8, maybe.
Well, whatever they end up doing, they need to. And I'm speaking about this selfishly, as a guy who roots for Woodson, obviously. But not just Woodson, all these you got a flag, all these national teams, right? And there's a whole rack of teams 6A. No, it's 6A in our area in Northern Virginia. That something needs to be done, in terms of they need to be in their own kind of league, their own sort of thing going on, because you're going to be in a world where those guys never compete for, any kind of, high level, thing ever again. I mean, something's got to change.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But something's got to change.
Oh, got a holding on Madison. So looking like we're 2nd in. Ooh. What's about 18?
The other thing that I still don't understand, I've been in the state for 20 years, is I don't understand the concept that in some sports you lose the region championship and you still move on.
Well, that's in every other sport other than football, right? In Northern Virginia.
Now I kind of understand, but I mean, like, hey, if we're gonna try to do equality for all, then why don't we do that for football too?
Yeah.
And then reseed after that for the state playoff.
Right.
All right. 3rd and long. All right.
You said it. They can't be in a hole like this.
Yeah.
No.
VA Voss, what do you guys like 3rd and long on this? What do you think?
You can get and punt. Warm the punter up.
Yeah.
A little screen. If it doesn't, punt it away.
You don't want to make a mistake here. So if you can get 10 yards and punt, that makes a 40-yard punt, a 50-yard punt. But they got behind him.
Again.
Wheel route.
Wow. Get the ball in that guy's hands. He's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not a bad player.
Yeah,
keep
giving number 1 the ball. Find ways to get him the ball.
Well, now they're across midfield, so now it's be aggressive and tie this game up.
Yeah. And we got 2 close games. The Phoebus game is close too. I saw that.
Yeah.
So all day long we've had blowouts, I think, right until now.
Now that was kind of interesting from Oscar Smith from 3rd and forever that you're getting beat deep. It's kind of one of those things.
Well, I mean they've gotten behind him multiple times.
Yeah, they have.
And it was their star receiver / running back.
I think that's one of the things about Madison too, though, man, is that on the big downs they just seem to make big plays. I mean, on 3rd, that's what happened with us too. Like 3rd and long, 4th and long.
We bring back bad memories.
We all know Nicely's the guy, and they do too. I'm sure Oscar Smith knows too. They do a good job scheming it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, nothing.
Memories from last week.
Go ahead.
No, I was asking Coach Crush, is this bringing back bad memories from last week at all?
Yeah. You think about
touchdown. Go.
Get it? Go.
Touchdown.
I mean, look at that. Get that guy the ball. He's pretty good.
Oh my God. I'm on a delay, I think.
Like Coach Voss was saying, this is playing right in the Madison's hands. It really is. Obviously Oscar Smith's going to get the ball here, but this is lining up.
Well, we talked about earlier too. I think Coach Craig brought it up. Second half, Oscar Smith's been told all week long that they're going to not only win, but they're going to cruise to a state championship. That weight of the pressure is now going to be on the shoulders of a young football team. It'll be interesting how they respond.
Any when you played him, any issues with that went in? I was going to ask any kicking issues. Point. Did he miss that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was about to ask you, were there any kicking issues in those games?
In our game,
yeah,
we blocked an extra point against them in the first game. Their kicker is solid. I don't think he ain't gonna put a 45-yarder through or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean they had some cracks on special teams. They snapped a punt over their punter's head the first game, and we blocked a kick. And then in the second game, we ran 2 kicks back.
Yeah.
So Madison's got, I think, some chinks in that armor. But I really do feel the way this game's playing out right now, like this is a heavy burden to carry for a young but talented Oscar Smith team, being in a dogfight like this. I haven't looked at their schedule. Have they played many close games all year?
I think it was
two. Yeah. Was it Indian River and
Highland Springs 2 weeks ago? And Highland Springs was in the Class 6 final, if you guys remember, against Freedom last year, and gave Freedom.
Didn't Highland Springs end up? Didn't that game end up?
Yeah.
Being big?
Yeah. They won it handily at the end.
Yeah. But during the regular season, it was Indian River and
something Fork. Was it a Fork?
King's Fork.
Yeah, King's Fork.
Hey, look at that. My memory served me well. King's Fork.
Hey, Crush. So, it looks like they move nicely around a lot. Is it difficult to game plan for that when their guys constantly in different places all over the place all the time? Is that a frustrating thing for you? I mean, defensively, like is that a big part of your game plan? Just trying to figure out where he is constantly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had another team in our league, West Springfield, who had a Mark Anthony White kid who was he was filthy, man. I mean, that little dude is good. He's so nice, and it's similar when you're thinking about him. But Madison is like the stuff they do with Nicely, where even on the sideline, we're thinking he's right there, we can see him, but they do a good job enough with the other pieces of the puzzle that you can't only focus on number one. And then I'm sure it seems obvious to fans on the side, like, why aren't you covering one? But they do a good job of how they move them around and the type of stuff they put them in. And from game to game, they don't always do the same things. So they have a deep, playbook that they can go back to with getting the rock out to him. And he makes plays, man. I mean, give credit to the kid too. I mean, he makes really tough plays, and he's tough to bring down. And I mean, they're just good, man. They execute really well.
I think probably one of the few things that maybe Madison doesn't get credit for is I think from the outside in, people look at their offense and are like, oh, it's easy. They don't run a lot of stuff. It's not really all that intricate. But when you really start looking at what they do with motions and everything else, I think that it's a lot more intricate than I think they get credit for. People just kind of look at from the
100%. There's 2 things they do really well. Number one, with Nicely, they move him around where he lines up, but they do a great job of using motion to help him switch from being number 1 to number 2 and run the route, come in jet motion, get a handoff, come in jet motion, be a decoy. They do a really good job of that. And the second thing that they do a great job is on third down.
Wow, good stop there.
They are a spectacular third down offensive team. They have a really good screen draw package. They do a good job of running routes to the sticks. They'll run the ball on 3rd and medium to get themselves into 4th and short and then go for it. Their success rate on 3rd down is really, really high, and that's a lot of their coaching staff doing a good job of putting them in good spots.
There's no way they're going for this, right? There's no way they're going for this, right?
They did earlier in the game, same kind of thing.
Yeah, their egos are hurt now at Oscar Smith. They're going for this.
Wow. We'll see.
We'll
see.
No,
this might be the no
way.
Wow.
4th and short.
All right, so are you going for 2 every time now?
No.
If you're Madison and you score again?
I mean, you can kind of see how the game's going. If you feel like it's going to be a 1-score game, I think
they're winning up front.
But if you feel like it's going to take 2 scores, then kick the extra point and let's see how it plays out. You don't want to chase. You don't want to chase points this early.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Being a linebacker, number 6 from Madison is a dog. Oh my God.
Ambrose.
He really is.
He's got a great nose for the football. He's got great reads, and he comes downhill and he pops you. I think that was 3 out of those 4 plays were him coming downhill and making play.
Yeah.
Oh, he makes plays. Just ask Coach Crush last week.
Yeah, I'm shocked he doesn't have any offers. I'm shocked.
And he's got great size. Great frame.
I think he's a DN.
Yeah, the next level.
Yep.
I can see that.
He played D-line the year before and was very, very good.
That's true. In fact, he was like all conference as a DN last year too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's a good point. What do you say? He's like 6'2"? height wise, if that?
Yeah, when I stood out there next to him, he was I would say about my height. Yeah, 6'1", 6'2". 7 is that D tackle is a really good looking player.
Caden Green. Yeah.
So I feel like Madison's got to get points out of this.
I do too.
They've got to get points out of this.
Be aggressive here. I'd say be aggressive, and whatever you're calling here, you better. I mean,
they haven't gotten boot. They haven't gotten boot in a while.
Well, you're going for it on fourth, so
Fourth, that's gonna be 4th and 1.
Yeah. Hey Max, when you guys are playing that toss they run, what are you telling your D line on that? Like what on the play side? What are some techniques you're giving them to kind of defend that toss they run?
Well, the thing that they did really well against us.
That's pretty close.
4th and 1.
Yeah.
Are you guys on NFHS? I feel like I'm on a delay hard. Okay.
You might be delayed. You might if you refresh. But yeah, so that power toss though. I mean, what are some things you do against it?
Yeah. So the the pieces of
fell
it,
down.
Oh,
the guy they wanted fell down.
Oh no.
Oh, that hurt.
That does hurt. I mean, their D's playing lights out right now, so.
Yeah.
Watch the replay. 24 is supposed to be out in the flat here. He gets tripped.
That's the junior running back, Ricardo.
So that look good old.
Oh, you're right.
Wow.
Shit.
That allowed for that linebacker to play that second level, because if that sniffer would have got out there to the flat, that would have been hard.
Well, and also that sniffer would have drugged the edge off their defense out. The quarterback could have ran it for a first down too.
You're right.
100%.
Man, that's brutal.
I try to refresh it on there.
Mesa,
the power toss for us, the thing that's tough is that they could go into motion, they would switch their pieces around, and they can do it from a strong set. They can do it from the H-back to the backside. They have a couple of different ways they could run it. So a lot of times I like to go strong weak with personnel and stuff like that with the D line, and they can just shift you right away from it, and then go back the other side and attack. But you obviously got the kick block that comes out. You have the pull lead, and then the release from the tight end. So those three pieces at play side when you're attacking, and then they do a good job.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
That was another great throw right through number 12's hand.
That really was a great throw.
Carl, do you know anything about this quarterback? Like, is he a highly rated young kid? Because he looks like
Lonnie Andrews. He's a sophomore now, 2-year starter. He's one of our top-ranked kids for our class of 2027.
He looks like it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Pretty good.
How big is he?
That's from the right hash outside the numbers.
Real quick, Madison is in a 3-man front. They playing nicely at safety. I've only seen them do that in prevent situations all year. So they put a little
after the quarterback. Look at that.
Salvosa again.
That's huge right there.
I mean, they're doing a great job keeping. Yeah.
This am I mistaken, or is Ambrose wearing the old school neck roll too?
Oh yeah,
freaking Bill Romanowski, dude! I love this kid.
Now I'm surprised they're not. I mean, we'll see if Oscar Smith does it, but it looks like because they're giving a lot of room underneath that they're not dragging somebody across the field. It looks like they're worried about getting beat vertical.
That snap is almost
another short punt.
Yeah, it's almost a high snap too.
I think I get the ball on their side of the 50.
Oof. Looks like
48.
Oh,
minus 48.
Man. They got to do something here.
So this is a time right now where maybe you do a trick, something or a play that breaks their base defense.
Yeah.
You think about now, I mean, going back to earlier, how well Oscar Smith's defense played. In Madison's defense, their only touchdown was off that, block punt. They're playing inspired football like they have all year defensively.
Like Voss was talking about, this kind of go for the jugular here. One thing that they do like to do is that one single receiver run a post.
And
although it looks like they're making concerted effort to get nicely the ball, right?
Yeah,
at this point, At this point, he's your guy. That's who you got to go to. You got to start feeding him. Because he's touched the ball how many times now in the second half?
And to piggyback what Crush was saying on the defensive line component with that power toss, as a linebacker, the hardest thing is to tell him not to over pursue. It's not an outside toss sweep. He's going to cut it back, and it's going to be inside, so don't over pursue. That's always one of the hardest things to teach.
He's always falling forward.
Gets people off balance, so he doesn't take square shots very often.
Yeah, he doesn't, and he's always gaining a yard, even when you think he's
third and short here. Yeah, Madison's kind of gotten out of the gun stuff, unbalanced, and they're just coming right at him.
There it is.
Which is really impressive. You know, when we talked with Matt Hatfield, he was talking about like how good the Oscar Smith run defense had been all year. I mean, they had been shutting people's runs down all year, and it looks like, you know, Madison's imposing their will, right? I mean, there's a
difference though between stopping people from the gun and stopping people from under center.
If
you only stop runs under center, from the gun all year, it can be the ball gets to the line of scrimmage quicker. Your defensive line isn't able to be as disruptive when you're taking stuff from under center, and I think you're seeing some of that here. Madison's getting the ball to the line of scrimmage faster and able to find a crease before all those talented D linemen are getting off blocks.
Well, right there is another point, right? I thought that was going to be a loss of one. He gained one.
Well, I mean, he's also a lot of these formations are unbalanced sets, and so they're not making adjustments to these unbalanced sets. Look at that tight end. He there's nobody outside of him.
Correct. Yeah, there's a natural gap off of the tight end.
No. Get up.
I thought they'd be a little more aggressive there.
That's not good.
No, that's not good.
Oh, man.
Well, was that the left guard? Wasn't it?
What that was here.
So
I can't see when they're peeling up.
Did he fall on the football? I don't like. Doesn't seem to be holding his leg.
I think you're right.
Yeah, maybe he's got the wind knocked out.
Yeah, he's sitting up right now.
Get a little breather.
I mean, a lot of bodies on the ground.
6.
Yeah, third and
Madison has this one really nice play where they run like either kind of zone read action across, or they'll motion across and they'll ride it, and then they come back with the quarterback running inside zone back the opposite way. They block inside zone.
It's brutal.
It is a very difficult play, and they love to run it in situations where they need a first down. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like that here on 3rd and 6, because even if they get 3-4, like they're still on pace then for a 4th down play.
One thing I've noticed is Oscar Smith likes to bring a lot of pressure on 3rd and long situations. I'd be surprised if not to see a screen or something.
Draw.
There's a draw.
Draw.
They weren't fooled by that at all. They were.
It was interesting. Both when Crush just kind of affirmed exactly the exact play Vossler was talking about. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys practiced against that play all week.
Last year they hit us with it in 2023 that season, and it was like the turning point in the game. It was like 10-7 at that point. And it's like Vossler said, it was a clutch moment. It was like 3rd or 4th down, and they hit it perfect. I mean, the timing couldn't have been. And that's difficult as a D-line guy. Like the rules, it changes your rules for what you do on QB read on the edge because it inverts the rules. And so it makes it tough, like for the kid, because they have that split second where they're deciding what they need to defend, and that's when they hit the crease.
Nice play, 12.
Oh, wow. He wasn't across the line of scrimmage, was he?
No,
no way.
Ran downfield.
What a play!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
this is what you were talking about earlier. Rob.
If they win the game, he was going to come with some clutch plays, right? I mean, he was just going to have to.
Yeah, he's right at the line.
That's an awesome play by Yates.
So there was definitely
Nicely's out.
Yates, though. They got lucky on that one.
If Knight is Nicely back in, yeah, he's back in.
Yeah, back in. Yeah.
he must have just like right in the chest, knocked with the football when he fell down.
Yeah. Well, that's going to get to the end of the third quarter. Madison's down 1 in a low-scoring game. Like, this is the game they can win, right?
Yes, this is. So this play right here is. I think it's something you talked. The pass you said that he got against you guys, right?
Yeah, against us, he threw it in the back of the end zone.
The back of the end zone, right? Right.
And, nicely went up over one of our very good players, Connor Moore, and went up and got it.
And, how about that receiver?
That's
if
Kellen
you watch it on the
Counts.
replay again,
sophomore Kellen Counts.
I mean, he kind of moved and got open, right? How many guys that I've seen, and I'm sure all of us have seen, just stand there, watch him on this. Look at him.
That's a heck of a play.
I got to find that right there.
His dad probably wouldn't let him back on the bus though if he was. he had to get
that,
open.
I swear. That is a heck of a play by Yates, and Dash is right. The receiver just like not giving up on the play, giving him a target. Good job. That's a smart football play by Counts.
What number is that going out for Madison?
56?
He's a guard.
56, 55, something like that.
56. He's one of their guards.
Yeah.
Well, on your scouting report on him, pretty. Oh, Chris is gone. Chris left.
Sorry, I'm here. My dog was barking.
No, that's all right. I was going to say 56. I mean, I know you did a scouting report on key part of their guys. Solid.
I don't want to say he's not a key part of the guy, but he's the smallest on their front. 50, the center, the guy with the belly out. He's been there for a while. Ari, 71 is really good. 54 and 51 are a little bit bigger, but 56. I mean, if you're a small dude on a big O line, you know there's a reason. So he blocks his tail off. He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good player. So being smaller doesn't really mean he's not the same level. He's a good player.
Yeah, the center 50 broke his leg in the first Lake Braddock game. Was out the rest of the year until I think he played in the WNL game, playoff game. So he missed, and he was a very good player for him the year before. So that was a nice little boost they got here down the home stretch of Madison's offensive line.
He's definitely. It feels like the heart and soul when you talk to him. I talked to him a little bit after the game last time, and some of our boys were friends with him as well. But I mean, he's a good kid, dude. I love the look. It reminds me of them old school Alabama dudes with the belly out at the line of scrimmage, Marcel Darius style.
Well, Madison's right where they want to be, right? I mean, last year,
100%.
Last 2 years they've been in blowouts, right? I mean, the games have been over the last 2 years against Freedom and against Freedom every year.
Same thing. They're unbalanced and they're not making adjustments to it as a defense.
No, they're trying to play this off tackle play by darting around the kick out block, and if the guy doesn't get there, they kind of crease him a little bit.
Yep.
Madison's just going back to it.
I mean, if they can't stop it, why? If they can't stop it, why get out of it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing that's tough about them. Some teams can go unbalanced one way. They've done it with 71 out to the right, and now they're doing it with unbalanced back to the left. And I mean, this isn't something that they did against us a lot last week. I mean, they can go from week to week and switch it up. So it makes it tough to see if you're not really looking for it. It's easier watching it here with you guys than it is on the sideline. That's for sure.
No, this is 71.
That's a two-man nub.
Game.
That's a two-man nub to the weak side. That's only two guys on that side of the football, but Oscar Smith's got 4 defenders on that
They
right
adjusted.
side.
They adjusted that time. And that talk about closing speed right there, right? That looked like it might go.
That's that freshman again. Elijah Reynolds have a heck of a game.
Now, I know Crush probably didn't watch their special teams. Maybe Voss might be on this. Do they have a kicker who can make a field goal from right here if they get stuck?
Yeah, I think we had him as 39 yards and in.
Okay.
I mean, you got to kick this, right?
Oh, you got to get a lead.
Yeah, it's first down though. So
Yeah, it's first down.
I'm saying if we come down to 4th down here,
Did they rule the first down?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
There he is again, and looks like the backfield gets the yard.
I'm telling you, every time reminds me of a young Marcus Allen. Remember Marcus Allen? He's always fall forward. You know, I got to do my Raider comp. You know, I always got to do a Raider comp. Marcus Allen was always falling forward, though. I'm not kidding.
This is about
the Raiders were good.
Oh.
This is about the space where the spot. This might be that play we were talking about, where he quarterback runs it. Here it comes, right there.
Oh man.
Yep.
Look at that.
Wow.
There you go, Voss.
Good call, buddy. Good call.
He ran when they were on about that spot when we played them the first time. That was the one they ran in for a touchdown with a minute left to beat us. Wow. It's just really hard because the action takes you that way and they block back, so they kind of shield off everybody. And Yates is a much stronger kid than you think when you see him on film. You get up close to him, like he's very put together.
Well, you can see his legs. I mean, look at his legs. Those are not small legs.
He looks faster than me. I said it on the podcast, the old Hitches group, a couple of times. He looks a lot faster.
Get in there. Touchdown.
Wow.
Now you go for 2 because
that's what I was saying earlier. You got to go for 2 here.
I think you do it now.
You got to go for 2 now. There's 9 minutes.
Yeah. Because 6 and 5.
Or do you? They score a touchdown. They might miss the extra point.
You got to try to get back to 14 though.
Yeah, I think so.
I just feel these extra points are not a gimme in high school. So you get to 6 and offensive scores later.
Well, I think Madison's got to feel pretty good about their short yardage run right now. I mean,
I agree.
That's true.
And now what's funny is I mean it's been building, but now all the pressure's on offense.
Yeah. Oh man. And we just talked about them never not having a lead all season.
Yeah. Yeah, they've never trailed.
Never.
That's a crazy stat.
But although Matt had said on leading up to the thing is that they're really young and they didn't think that this would be. They thought next year would be the year for them.
Right.
They didn't think it was going to be this year, and so here they are now against. And I think there's somebody said right for you have a bunch of seniors at Madison who have been to the state playoffs 3 years in a row, right? These seniors have been in the state semis or the state final for their 3 years of high school.
Well, I mean, like we talked about, like college, those bowl practices it helps out in the long run. These guys almost got another whole season of practice.
Yeah.
By going deep in the playoffs for 3 years in a row. I mean, that's huge when it comes to experience.
Man, huge.
Got him.
We got a flag.
Somebody moved.
I hate being
I
behind
think
you.
he was coming forward.
Yeah, illegal motion.
That's coming back. Shit. Now what do you do? Now do you kick it?
Depends on if you have a play. If you have a play you like, you do it.
Wow. Doubling down on that, huh?
Yeah, I think Boss is right. If you have something on the play card that you like from about 10 yards out that you think you got, I think you make the call.
Got to kick this.
No, I think they're going.
Yeah. I mean, look, they had their way on them that drive, didn't they?
Yeah, but 3 yards and 8 yards are two different
I
guys.
mean, at the end of the day, if Oscar Smith scores, a field goal still wins the game for Madison.
Yeah.
Even if they don't get this. So
this delay is brutal. I might have to mute it for a second. So
yeah, me too. It is brutal. Don't say anything.
We got him.
Got him.
Sorry.
Nice. It's good. It's good news, so it makes me happy. It's good news.
I'm sorry, guys. There's
Nice.
a heck of a play. There's a heck of a game.
Wow.
What a play.
Wow. What did I say? You doubted me, Mason? They're on their way, baby. On their way. Where does that title belong? But I said it belongs here. It doesn't belong down 757.
What a great route. Oh, my goodness. Outside release, cut back inside. Wow.
And is 7 the D1 kid?
Checking. I thought it was. He's either Deloach is either. No, that's Koval. 8 is Deloach, number 8.
Okay.
Jaden Koval's another big time prospect. He's a junior though. He's probably going to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. He's no
good.
jalopy, right? This guy.
Yeah, he's not in the Raiders secondary, so he's all right. You know.
What's crazy is the type of offense that Madison runs. This could be Oscar Smith's last chance at the touch of the football.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Well,
Good point.
so now on the flip side, whatever you got, if you're them, right? This is the drive.
Well, this kickoff's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guaranteed open field play for one of their best skill kids.
That's
Madison's got to contain this ball.
What are you doing here? Are you going to just pooch this kick?
There they go.
Which is what they did.
We're praying is what we're doing. Got him down.
That.
Oh, and that was two to Deloche. It was to the Virginia Tech kid. Oh no, is that 0?
No, it's 0.
But
But
you'll
again-
take that 36-yard line, got him down.
Mhm.
Now it'll be interesting. Where's Oscar Smith going offense? They haven't really done much lately. The passing game hasn't been great all day. It'll be interesting where they turn here.
Although, just reading too, body language from Oscar Smith does not look great.
No, it doesn't. It
Kind
does
of
not.
moving out there. They're not in a hurry.
Now they got the ball in Johnson's hands.
Yep, this is a good play call. As long as they don't hold.
But
Got
that's
the ball
what
to
you got to
the,
do,
over
right?
there.
You
Get
got
over
to
there.
give.
That kid's a
Just like
dude.
Madison did. Just like Madison did, you've got to give your guy the ball. He's got to touch the football.
And I'm surprised that like a lot of his routes all game long are just single receiver routes. There's no combination to kind of get him open. It's just been posts or verticals. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Ooh, that was not nice. Well, they're rolling now, right? Although
They are.
Although, you know, they even if they score, they still have to get another stop, and they have yet to be able to prove that they can stop Madison in the second half.
They caught Madison blitzing there. They sent their outside linebacker, and then 6 had to come fill that zone outside.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to get caught with the extra guy out on the field.
I was going to say, I saw that 55 darting off. Did they throw a flag?
I don't think they threw a flag on it, though.
Doesn't look like it.
No, they didn't. Yeah, because he was still on the field when they snapped the football.
Wow, they got lucky right there.
Madison's back to that 3-down lineman look. They got the extra DB on the field.
So they've definitely been bringing the heat whenever they've done that, though, which is very rare for them.
So what, we got 8:45 to go, 14-7 lead, Madison.
Now they're
tuning in.
Yep.
Whew,
they got nicely back deep.
No.
smart move.
There you
So
go.
we're gonna have
Now he
third
runs.
and 2.
No, don't slide. That's where you got to know the situation. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you're right. And
Yard left to
they've
go.
won all these scenarios today. Madison has won all the 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 scenarios.
Yeah, they have. Hey, Crush, when you're trying to contain an athletic quarterback and you're worried about pass rush lanes, what are some things you're telling your D lineman to do to make sure that you're keeping that quarterback in the pocket without being able to just kind of skirt by?
Well, the number one thing is like you can't. I feel like you guys are gonna say how great the play was.
He didn't get that? They didn't give it to
No.
him?
Short.
Wow.
Yard
4th
short.
and 1.
Wow.
7:45 to go.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
This is huge. This play might be huge. You call
What do they do?
timeout if you're Madison? Set your defense?
Yeah,
They're
you got
gonna
to lose.
It's not a terrible idea, but you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah.
This is where they got to go out wide.
Oh, wait a minute. He didn't get it.
No way.
Oh,
No
now-
way.
Nope.
No.
No way.
No way.
No way.
Wow!
Does not
Wait.
get the
We gotta see
4th
the
and
spot.
1.
Where's the spot?
He didn't even
Wow.
come close.
Then we got a
He didn't come
flag.
close. I mean,
What do
at
we have
what
a
point is
flag
it just
for?
poor? Is it a poor play call? It's poor coaching. They've run that play how many times tonight against that defense?
And they haven't got anything on it.
Hold on. I think we might have a flag on Madison
After the play.
after the play. It looks like that. Okay. Hold on.
No way.
Dead ball.
Oh, it's on Oscar Smith. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
Legal substitution.
Oh, so is that a dead ball?
Legal substitution on
Dead
Madison.
no.
ball.
They had 12 guys.
Madison had 12 guys.
Oh,
Wow.
No way.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 12.
I think you're right.
Nicely was supposed to come out. I think Nicely was supposed to be out because he's probably not usually in on that goal line.
See, they call a timeout. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's killer.
Oh, it's
Wow.
brutal.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought a couple plays before that, I saw 12 guys on the field too.
They definitely did that one day.
They're doing a lot of substitutions.
A lot of late substitutions.
Yeah.
Oof, man, that hurts.
Man, that's killer.
Although, right, you tell your defense, look, you guys been playing fine. You've been shutting them down.
But you haven't really had a chance to tell them anything.
Tackle, good job. Madison brought 6 there.
What are the difference on the hashes in college and high school? Are the hashes aren't as wide, are lower and narrow, aren't they? Or am I wrong?
High school, they're wider.
High school
2 yards wider.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still not over that 4th down stop. They're celebrating, made the stop, and then that hurts.
Yeah. Oh,
Ball
wow.
start.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he dropped it.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, hey, if you remember when South County beat Oscar Smith for the state championship, they dropped 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns in that game. And that's a killer right there.
Madison brings 5 a lot, and they do a good job of showing you one and bringing another guy. They like bringing the backers off the edge and stun the DNs inside. They do a good job with the pressure.
Brutal.
Well, 6:47.
Still a lot of time.
A ton of time.
I don't know the way Madison runs the football. Been run the football. I mean,
No, we got a penalty. It's like on the Tigers.
Late game.
Yeah, looks like it.
No, they called timeout.
Did they?
no.
Yep. Timeout.
Yeah. Wow. Man.
So obviously this is 4 down territory for them going forward.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're going to go for the 1st down or if they're going to hit something short and go for 4th. I mean, the way Madison's playing, I wouldn't want to do that policy. I'd be going for that sticks.
If I'm Oscar Smith, I'm telling my quarterback, you go through your progression. Remember, you can run.
Yes.
Because he hasn't been stopped trying to pull it down.
Yeah. Yeah, just take off, man. If it's
Madison's
there,
rushing lanes kind of get they've lost the edge a couple times. They've left big gaps inside.
I'm about to bring you guys here in a second.
Don't let him out of the pocket. Get him there. Oh, is that grounding? Or is he out of the pocket?
Should be. The ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. That should be the grounding.
That's an excellent play by 36.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's also from the spot of the foul,
That's
too.
huge. That's going to be a loss of down, too, right?
And the spot call.
Oh, my God.
It's a spot call and loss of down.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah,
What a play by 36.
I mean, look who's back there, too. Salvosa back
there.
there. They're all back there. Ambrose.
When Yates makes it scramble, that one kid finds what's open. You see that back releases out. The quarterback sprints out, and the running back just stands there.
Yep.
He doesn't try to go. He doesn't try to help him out. He kind of puts his hand up haphazardly, but he doesn't ever try to find his way to the quarterback so the quarterback can see him.
Now it's 4th and forever.
Wow. What do you do here? What are you guys doing? You're throwing a jump ball up in the air? What are you
throwing a 50-50 maybe?
There's 6 minutes left. Like, you could quick punt, quick kick.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you've held Madison for most of the game, right? Most of the game you've held them.
Madison just got a sideline warning, it looks like.
Yeah.
Just a warning.
So they're going to throw a jump ball up in the air and hope for some kind of pass interference or something.
Yeah, but pass interference isn't a first down at this point either.
No.
But it'll make it a 4th and realistic at least.
Yeah.
Now they're going to go to a 3-man rush.
Yep. So they can double the single receiver back here.
That's it.
Yeah, they got 2 over
There
him.
we go.
Got a spy on that quarterback.
Number 6 again. That
Wow.
is huge.
Gee, freaking Romanowski making plays after play over here. That freaking the neck roll. You gotta love the neck roll. And by the way, his dad is awesome. Talking to his dad. Jeez.
You got to keep an eye on the green shoes, man.
Oh, awesome.
Is there a flag on the field?
Yes, there was.
Hold probably.
Well, the offense is coming off though. Not good body language. You talking about the body language?
They
you
look
see that? I think coach was trying to talk to him, and he was walking away from coach. He didn't want to hear him.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct.
So that's going to put Madison even in better shape.
Wow.
They were going to have the ball at their 43. Wow.
We talk about Madison's composure,
And the Tigers
right?
are on
And the lack of composure with their opponents.
Yep.
That's always been a strong suit of Madison. They're always well disciplined. They don't make mistakes. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. They're well coached.
Just run it here. Just grind it out.
Wow.
And the way they're playing defense, a field goal ends this game.
Yes, it does.
I agree.
It really does.
Yeah, 2 possessions would be killer.
6:29 left, and Oscar Smith only has 2 timeouts too. So I wonder if Madison gets a couple of first downs, and you know how they love to churn out the clock.
And at this point too, you kind of tell nicely, get ready to carry us home, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Oscar Smith just brought everybody across there.
It really did.
What's that? What's the PlayStation play? Engage 8, isn't that?
Yeah. Think I ran that in the old our old JV defense, VA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. One thing that I struggle with as being a defensive kind of coach is that they don't have anybody setting the edge on the tight ends on these sets. I mean, like look at down here. You got a corner setting the edge.
Oh yeah, where the tight. Yeah, I see what you mean.
I didn't like that call. That's too cute.
Yeah, they've had some success the last couple of weeks, though.
Yeah, they have. I mean, letting that clock tick, I don't hate it.
I would let Yates roll out here, see if he can find a play. If not, you know.
That second down, I would have called that boot and brought that guy back across the formation.
One of their go-to third down plays is their naked action rollout stuff.
I'll tell you what, he throws a very good ball on the run. And I think that gives them a run pass option too. So
let's see here.
Here we go.
Big down.
Oh, he had the post. He had the other guy.
He had all day to throw that too. Oh my God!
Flag?
He had the other guy.
Yeah, they both went with nicely on the wheel, and the post on the top, the high side of the screen was wide.
Wow.
Sorry, punt them deep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't make any mistakes here. No, they had a punt blocked earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's the only thing that's really given Oscar Smith something all game long was that first block punt.
Yeah, bro.
That converted to their 7 points.
Yeah.
So, what's the time check on here?
5
minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
gonna
punt.
come.
That's his
Nice
best punt of the
punt.
day. Puts him right at the 9. They got to go 91 yards now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great punt.
Wow, Madison. Oh, they had a touchdown there.
And I just feel like you talk about just lack of. Let's see what they do here. I feel like they're kind of reeling right now.
Well, they got to get number one the ball. Every time number one's touched the ball, they've had a decent gain. So try to get number one the ball. They also had success finding their running back out of the backfield. Those two things, they're not going to be able to get deep crossing routes because Madison's been consistently pressuring them. But if they can get it out quick and let these guys run, I think that's their best bet.
Like another delay right here.
That's a hold. That's coming back. So Salvosa got held off the edge. They have Madison's already clapping.
10 yards from that spot, man. That's half the distance.
That's a good point, Coach.
The ball will be at the 5.
Right in front of the ref, too. Oh, wow.
Ball will be at the 4, probably.
Wow.
So it looks like Madison's gone. They've almost exclusively now to their 3-man front with the 5 DBs, with Nicely in the middle of the field.
Well, I mean, they've been getting pressure out of it, right? They've been getting pressure at a 3-man front. Why?
Well, and I don't. Oscar Smith looks like they're not going to be running the ball. So
yeah,
No.
which they had success running the ball early. I think that's a mistake.
They really did.
You have
They
time.
really did. Yeah.
You have time.
Got a lot of time.
Whew, backed up.
But you know,
I don't think you want to become one-dimensional against these guys.
when you've been playing with a lead all year, you've never trailed, you've never been in this situation in the fourth quarter.
That's a good job on Johnson there. They had him double teamed. He nearly broke that one. Kid's a special player, number 1 for Oscar Smith.
Yeah.
But there's just such sure tacklers, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're going to go with anything underneath, because I feel like a lot of stuff's been vertical. A lot of stuff's been kind of downfield, intermediate and deeper routes as opposed to coming stuff underneath. So now we're back to second 10.
see what this extra safety allows them to do is they can double one and still play a guy in the middle of the field.
Oh. And what you notice is it's only a
Oh, wow, that would have been ball game.
5-man box. With a 5-man box, and they're not even running the ball. They're just bailing everybody.
Yeah.
That would have been ball game right there. Jeez. Oh.
4-13. We got a 3rd and 10.
I mean, you got to punt it after this, right? If you don't get it here, you got to punt it.
Yeah, they have 2 timeouts. Yep.
Yeah. The defense has been playing well all game.
Nice to see Madison keep this guy in the pocket, get some pressure here. Nope. Too much time.
I'm surprised Oscar Smith hasn't motioned one to try to get out of the double team.
Yeah.
Line him up 2-by-2, send him across, and then maybe now you can get him matched up 1-on-1.
You can see Madison as their best corner traveling with him the entire time. So you got to try to get him off of number 1.
I agree with you there. Too much time. Don't give him too much time.
In case I was wondering, Phoebus is up 9-6 in the fourth quarter.
That was the halftime score.
Well, I look right now, it's not 9-6.
I figured that would be one of the best games out of the 6, but this one has proven me wrong.
Yeah,
this has been a great game.
This has been fun.
Yeah, outstanding. And just such a contrast of styles, and it's been just an awesome game.
Oh. 3rd and 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
They've won every 3rd and 3 today.
Yeah, but they won't be running this one.
No, they won't be running this time. Man,
it's interesting. Even on empty sets, they're still sending 5. And so then that puts that middle linebacker in a bind in an empty set. And
don't give him all day.
I think I'm behind now, all you guys.
Oh, he's got too much time. Too much time.
That's twice now that they've hit somebody across the middle. They're starting to see there's a hole in their defense in the middle.
They only send 3 on that though.
Yeah, well, they
looks like
two guys chased the backfield though. So
3 minutes and running.
5-man box. I'm surprised they haven't ran the ball at all.
One motioning. Now they got on the ball, but it got tipped. See, I think that's what they need to do. They free one up a little bit by motioning behind and then let him catch and run with it.
Yeah. And like I talked before, I don't know why they haven't brought anybody across shallow because they are bailing out of there.
Yeah.
There's all that 10-yard underneath 10-yard, there's all kinds of room to work with underneath there.
That time they brought both middle linebackers on a blitz. There was nobody in the middle. Nobody.
You know, you talk about how they haven't had to play from behind. Like, that's tough on a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's playing in the biggest game of his career, probably. He's never been in this situation. Now he's got to make a bunch of plays to try to win them.
That's such a good point. There he goes, taking off. That's what they needed to see from.
That was a smart move.
He didn't slide that time.
No.
He looks really hesitant to run, and he can run. That was a nice play. He does look hesitant.
Well, that goes back to, I mean, Madison, they hit and they keep hitting you from beginning to end of the game.
Like the out
tackle there.
Madison, they keep throwing that double out, though. Madison's going to pick that thing off because that is a long throw.
Yeah.
So Oscar Smith has at the 37, 2:24 remaining and clock running.
All right, let's get into this one.
All
right, let me ask you guys this. We're going to ask it in reverse now. Is Oscar Smith going for 2? They score.
I bet they do. I was thinking that, Dash.
I wouldn't, because they have not had success on short yard situations.
There he is. Just give him the ball. All right, good job. I won.
That's where he's lethal, man. With that quarterback scramble is tough.
Mm-hmm.
They're dropping
game for a state title. God.
Oh, man.
Right.
The one championship I got, man, we won it in overtime. So I know what the feeling on that freaking sideline, man. It's brutal on either side.
Were you guys behind or ahead to go into overtime? Did you guys have
we got up early, and then they slowly climbed back into the game, and then we went on defense first in OT, got a sack on third down. They had to go for the kick, and then we scored a touchdown in the offensive part.
He is fast, man. He is fast.
They did a good job. Every time he goes to his right, they do a better job of keeping him
closing on him.
Got there.
How big is he?
I think like 6'4".
No way. Is he that big?
Maybe 6'3".
Still, wow.
Oh, okay. Oh, not 6'4", but 6'3". Oh, makes a huge difference. The whole.
I'll take it now. Fine.
It's impressive. That's impressive.
He looks big next to that running back.
It only says 6 foot on the roster, but he looks about 6'2", 6'3" to me.
I'm surprised he didn't run out to that single side receiver.
There's Johnson. And we got
jeez.
Wow. Well, here we go, boys.
Man.
He kicked the extra point. 142, you kicked the extra point.
That was a 90-yard drive, 95-yard drive.
Oh, man.
Quarterback ran for 3 first downs.
Yeah.
And we've been saying it all game that was there to him. I tell you what, big no call here on the officials. The celebration in the end zone.
Yeah, they did this.
And if
right.
they throw that flag, you take it on the extra point and make them kick a 40-yard.
That ref's right there too. You can see him like tell him to stop, and he does real quick.
Yeah, that's good. That's good officiating, though.
I agree.
Give him a chance to get it right, and then
I'll never forget.
This is a state title game. It's a lot of emotion, you know.
Oh, they called it.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, same thing happened 2006. Okay, in the state championship, a kid got down and prayed for one of their lost teammates that got killed in a crash, and they threw a flag on them, and they lost in the playoffs.
Does he miss this?
This was in single A.
Wow.
He got it.
He got it.
Clutch kicker, though, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Whew, that'd have been a bad way.
Kicker.
Well, he gets to get on the bus and go home, so at least he doesn't have to walk home.
He does.
He drilled that.
He does. He's eating his double hamburger on the way home.
Hey, Dash. 1:45 left in the game. You're kicking off. That kind of sounds familiar, right? When you have.
It does.
Do you squib kick it, or do you kick it away and have possible return? Kind of like in 2018 region championship.
Well, the difference is there's so much speed on this Oscar Smith side, right? Like
I do not kick the ball nicely. I kick to anybody else.
Yeah.
One thing though that Madison does though is they'll run reverse back to nicely if you don't kick it to them.
Right.
Now they got to make a handoff, and that could go sideways for them too. But
I just feel like Oscar Smith's not going to be afraid of that. They're just going to kick it. They're going to do what they do.
Yeah.
this is when it's really nice to have a guy that can kick the ball in the end zone all the time. You sleep so much better.
Let's see what they do here. I feel they're just going to do what they do.
But Voss, that's what I had in 2018.
Yeah, and then they don't.
The end
Yeah,
zone. Like, this scares me right here.
Well, he hasn't had a good kickoff all night. Oh, they haven't kicked the ball well, period, all night.
Well, that one worked out for him, though, that short one.
That did work out for him. All right, here we go.
So what happens? Is there a delay?
Somebody must have been offsides.
Another short kick?
No,
No.
somebody was offside. They blew it dead.
Yep. That's something you don't want to do. Give them extra real estate to work with.
2 timeouts, 1:45.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Yeah,
First touchdown.
I got my hand ready to head to the mute button for when these plays come up.
Yeah, me too.
There's a delay.
How many seconds are you behind, you think?
It's like it's 3. It's small, but it's enough to where it's
Right.
like, oh, and I'm like, dang it.
It's bad.
It's happened.
You know, the best I have in my basement, I have a TV on the wall and I have a projector on the other wall. And when they do like the national championship game or the Super Bowl, I'll put the regular broadcast up on the TV, and then I'll put the all 22 on like a 8-second delay on the projector.
Yes, that's
So I
nice.
can watch and then I can turn and see that. It's awesome.
That's
That's
nice.
awesome.
Ooh.
What we got here?
There you go. Give it to one. Henny's.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love it. I love it. They're not afraid just to pitch it back to him and just, that's your guy. That's your guy. Just do it. Let him do what he does.
So if you're Madison, I'm probably you're thinking one, to score and win the game, but also you do not want to leave anyone time for Oscar Smith to get the football back.
No, and you can't make a mistake. You can't.
Yeah.
make a
No, I
mistake,
think
dude.
this is the same as the first half for them. I think you try to get a first down,
Yeah.
and then you push the issue. But until you get the first down, you kind of got to be careful.
Yeah.
Just because you don't want to have to play defense again.
Yeah.
Oscar Smith still has 3 timeouts, so
You don't want
And
to make
you saw
mistakes.
and you saw what happens when one for Oscar Smith gets a football.
Let this O-line settle in and ice it.
Yeah.
Coming out throwing, huh? Oof.
That was other than the loss, that is the second worst thing that could happen. Stop the clock, and now
Because now, and now we know that guy can kick. We know the other guy can kick.
Yeah.
Might be taking the auto mechanics class over there, but the man has the leg, okay? The man has the leg.
hey, I got little ones
there's a lot
coming
of
home, so
program.
I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Statue of Liberty.
Little draw. Now they're gonna blow a timeout. Ooh.
There's a minute left. It's tied.
Okay, so we wait.
I mean,
Because now, Oscar Smith, they had 3 timeouts left. Now they have
Yeah, I
2.
thought it was 2. Looks.
Yeah.
Now it's 2. But
that's rough. Because what do you
the
do now?
Tigers have all it. Oh, this is not playing out well. All the momentum. They seem like they finally figured out that Travis Johnson's one of the best receivers in the country, and we're going to give him the ball every play. So this is a big third down, obviously.
Yeah.
That they realized that quarterback can scoot with it
And
too.
run.
That was big for that last offensive series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you got?
Madison's still got to be careful though. They can't. Their defense has played fantastic football all year and for most of this game. Like let them get on the field don't make a mistake here that makes this a 1 first down and they win the game.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. If you have to punt it, punt it.
Yeah. I think you're still with us, Crush. I mean, they haven't even run the play yet, so I think we're all right.
Okay.
Last time they ran a switch route with Nicely, and he was wide open. He looked like man-on-man coverage to him.
There it is.
Oh, fumbled!
No shit.
No,
No.
No, he was down.
no.
I think he was down.
Nah,
The way they're celebrating,
They
he was down.
They hit him. Oh, they're talking about it.
That's usually never good for the defense. But they're pointing. It's first down.
Oh my goodness.
No way.
Oh.
What a pass! What a catch!
No way.
Yeah.
I want to see this again. I think he was down. You can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
He sticks him right here and knocks it loose. Right here. Boom. Ball's out.
Yep.
Still up. He's still up.
Yeah, no, it's out.
No.
Oh, talk about a great punch right there by the defender. I hate it for the Madison Warhawks, but
Absolutely.
half of the field.
You got to feel for that kid, right? Oh, you got to feel for that kid. Makes a great catch. Holding.
That's a really big call.
Big penalty.
Holding.
Holding is no longer a spot foul, though, so it'll just be 2nd and 20 or 1st and 20.
Yeah, because that could have been brutal if you didn't spot foul like the old days.
You just see the OT, man.
It used to be sometimes like an 18-yard penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So Oscar Smith's been pretty aggressive the whole game. I can't imagine them playing for overtime right now. They're going to try to score.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially with the kicker proving that he can hit it from probably 40.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Wow.
And you don't want to call a timeout. They're taking forever with this play call.
Yeah, the clock isn't running, though, because it was a dead ball on 1st down.
Does Madison ease off the 5-man pressure?
I'm more worried about delayed game.
So that the line of scrimmage will keep
No,
continuing?
they're bringing it still.
Oh, no. Caden, you had him there.
Oh, the quarter.
Man.
That fumble was killer. I can't believe that. Oh, man.
Wow.
Run the clock. I think they need about 10 more yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like playing nicely in center field right now and playing way off like that.
Well,
I mean,
you
they're
can
giving them
play
all kinds of room.
You could come up and keep him.
That's a nice tackle, though. That's a good tackle.
But 3 running has really hurt them the last 2 drives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're almost better off having Nicely spy him.
That's probably like the 3rd time they completed the double out.
That double out
They're
is
playing off. The corners are bailing.
Yeah, they have the ball at the 12-yard line, 29 seconds.
now they're in field goal range.
Oh, man. Well, maybe Oscar Smith is thinking highly about not talking so much crap on Twitter after this performance for next year, but
Or they talk even more.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I was gonna say they'll probably talk more now. Actually,
I'm just saying, like they really, their whole fan base was pretty open about it. They thought they were going to win this game by 40, and they should be losing. They're lucky to be tied.
No, I mean that's.
I had an old college teammate from down there. He was a good dude, Julius Macklin. We called him Juice. He wore a towel all the time on campus in college D tackle. He was a good guy. So some of the people down there, they got good people too. Just
they're all bad.
But like,
yeah, they got some good dudes
all
there.
week.
But
they were just going to show up and win by 40 according to their fan base, and it's clear
okay.
enough.
I stay off Twitter after our season ends.
Smart move. No, I mean, some of the fans are pretty arrogant, talking a lot of smack. I mean,
hey, that's what makes high school football fun, though. All the chatter out there. If it wasn't for that, it'd be we wouldn't all be sitting here watching.
That is true. That is true.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, see what we got here.
Madison's had one of the best defenses all year. You got to dig in, right? You got 12 yards then. You got to
dig in, force a kick, see what happens.
All the twists and stunts they like to do have been hurting them a little bit though when they're not hitting.
Yeah, I agree. That's a create that lane for that guy for the quarterbacks to scramble through, right? They've been washing it out. He's just popping up.
Those lanes have been there all day. Yeah. It's just in the last 9 minutes or 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, I think the quarterback's gotten comfortable trying to pull them down.
Smart call.
Yep.
Get there.
Love nicely.
Oh, big hit.
Nice play, nicely. What a stud.
So it's probably what, second one?
From the 3.
They marked it at the 2. I think it's first and goal.
Yeah, they gave him first and goal.
Sure
Wow.
They got 2 timeouts.
For what it's worth, though, Madison's played really well on short yard situations.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to move him very well. Now, outside-wise, that little give has been given to him, but if they're going to try to punch it up inside, I feel like Madison's been mashing the whole game.
Madison needs to take a timeout here. They don't look like they got their personnel set.
Definitely don't. They got guys running off the field.
Yeah, call the timeout. You might as well. You can't take it home with you.
Touchdown.
That's Nesbitt's second touchdown of the game. Good back.
Oh.
Yeah, that should have definitely been a timeout right there. They definitely were not set as a defense.
Yeah.
I can't
But,
believe
I mean, like you said, Dash, you can't take it home with you, right?
Call it, man. Call it timeout.
Because you weren't going to have enough timeouts to get the ball back. You at least want to make sure that your guys are set, dug in, and ready to go. Oh, that hurts.
But what a hell of a game.
I'm not even a Madison alum. I have no connection there other than my kids live in that area. But it hurts for me, so I can only imagine Madison.
Well, 19 seconds. You got Dom nicely return a kick. You never know.
Oh, they got it.
He bangs it through.
I really had every bounce go their way.
Wow. They have, huh? They really have.
You know,
yeah, that kicker. Someone better buy him a double R burger.
If Otter Smith misses to win this game, you know, Madison in the first half played about as poorly as they could have played. Between the 3 fumbles,
block punt.
Hey. So what? 3 fumbles, right? Fumble right now. They had the 2 in the first
return
half.
this thing to the house. Watch me return this thing to the house.
There we go.
Madison.
And then you go for 2. You win the game.
If you got a fake kickoff return right now, now's the time to run it. You have the throwback, the reverse
wall, something.
Bring out Frank Wycheck, you know, some throwback.
Like that starburst where everybody comes together and then everybody goes everywhere and one person got
the starburst,
the old starburst, something.
Yeah.
Crazy how much the game changed from.
I would be squib kicking this if I was Oscar Smith though. Run more clock off, less likelihood of a return.
Man, they just pulled the kicker off to talk to him, and then
go.
They're not messing around there. There's. Hold on to that ball there, buddy. Hold on to that ball.
12 seconds.
3 plays.
Well, they kept that timeout.
They got 2 timeouts, so I think they can get 3 plays in.
Can they get the Commanders pass in the end zone like the Chicago Bears?
They do
They
have
just need Oscar Smith on the sideline celebrating like it's over, and then they can. Yeah, like the Bears defender did.
Yeah.
Throw that out right now. Throw the out right now to the boundary side. Throw the out right now. Give yourself 10 free yards.
Yeah, you got the timeout.
There it is, right there.
Timeout.
Oh, they got out. Got out of
bounds.
Nice catch.
That play took forever.
Nice catch and throw.
Well, I mean, now you got and I'm a huge Yates fan, but now he's got to throw it 55 yards.
Yeah, they've run this play where they throw like a hitch and bring nicely across shallow and toss it to him. And I think they scored right before half against Robinson that way.
They did. The one that was all over all the highlight reels.
That's right.
Right.
The other thing you could do is if they back way off right here, catch throw right now, get another 10, get down, call timeout. You probably have enough time to do that.
Yeah,
that's true.
And then one heave to the end zone.
But you got to be telling your kid, hey, as soon as you catch the ball, you got to get down.
You got to hit the ground. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Great game. Great game.
Yeah, great game. Great game.
And regardless of the outcome here, Madison's program and these seniors for just tremendous performance today, and feel for all those guys if this doesn't come out their way, but they are the pinnacle of football right now in Fairfax County, and
for sure.
They represented well today.
Yeah, they really did. They really did.
Coach. Yeah, they've had a great run. They've had a great run for 4 years. And
here it is. This is the formation they run that play out of.
I'm muting you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to mute you too. I've got a wife and 5 kids. I can mute you without even hitting a button.
Got it off.
Oh my God! Yes, sir! Oh my goodness!
No shit. No way!
Oh my goodness!
What?
Oh my goodness!
You gotta be kidding me. Nice.
You gotta go for 2, right?
Are you
gotta go
kidding?
right
You gotta make the extra point now. Call a timeout. Holy cow. Now we got to flag, guys.
What?
Celebration?
No
Yeah.
way. Pick up
What?
Pick up the flag. It's a disgrace. Pick it up.
Call it on both teams.
What?
Right.
Oh my God.
Wait, what's the ref saying?
No way.
Unsportsmanlike. So now he has to make his.
Let me ask you.
Now,
What a
regardless,
play!
like in the
Holy
first
cow.
half.
What?
Do you go for 2 anyways?
Watch him
No.
break through right here.
no,
He
you're
was
on the
dead.
20.
He was dead in lights right
He
here.
takes a
He
shot
comes
here,
straight
too.
up, and he launches it. Oh, he did take a shot.
Let nicely behind him.
How can you let the best player on your team
Right.
and maybe the state behind you like that? Wow.
I mean, to be fair, they're 16, 17-year-old kids, man.
Oh.
Well, and when the quarterback runs like that, a lot of times you stop backing up.
Oh,
Yeah.
excessive celebration is killing because if they don't make this field goal,
Do you go for 2?
I think he can make this though. This is
Game, dude.
35.
I mean, they know, right? I mean, do you trust them? Do you go for
Yeah,
2?
I think
Remuting.
if he hits
Timeout.
it,
they tried to rock that guy off like they did in the playoffs. What, 2 years ago?
they do that every game. They
Yeah.
did to Braddock last week and through an incompletion.
Is Yates the holder?
Yeah.
He's not,
Yeah.
Is Yates
Nah.
the holder?
I
So
said, no,
it's
it's 14. 14's the holder.
Oh,
I was gonna say
numbers.
maybe get a little fancy here.
Wow.
What a game, dude. That was crazy.
I think with your short yardage defense, Madison's got to feel half decent overtime.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point.
Overtime
That
in high
was
school as
What a
a
play by
spectator
Yates.
is so fun.
Hey,
As a
did
coach,
they-
it's-
Crush, didn't they miss extra points against you guys in the region or the
I
semis?
mean, they missed one today.
I can't. Maybe
feel like they did.
They got 42. We
They're
definitely.
going for it. They're putting the offense on the field.
Good.
You are kidding me.
You
Let's
have
go.
to. Look, they've seen him. They know he'll miss it. They have to. And then you miss it, and then what? Everyone's going, we should have gone for it. If they're doing this, they're only doing it because they've simulated this in practice, these kicks, and he's missed them.
Oh my God.
They got
Oh. No.
Just lean on the guy.
This ball goes in nicely, right?
All right, muted.
Has to.
This ball goes in nicely, right?
They're calling a timeout.
The ball has to go to nicely. I think you got to motion him Put them in short motion, mix up their coverage, and see what happens.
This play by Yates.
Wow.
Once again, there's only a 3-man rush.
Yeah.
It's just like the Bears. Come on.
What was
Put
number
pressure
2?
on them.
From the Bears? Was he talking to the fans? Like number 2 from the guy from the Bears?
And that's what the D-line coach from Oscar Smith's feeling the same way. Like, let me just let my boys go get them. Go get them. I hate 3-man prevent stuff, dude. Let me go get them on the ground.
Always rush 4 at least.
Here we go.
They're on the fade.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Game.
Get off the field, Oscar Smith. You go celebrate down there.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
That was
You guys
there.
like that call? I mean,
I wasn't a huge fan of the play call.
Not
It
a
was
big
there,
fan.
though. It looked like went right through Nisley's hands.
Yeah.
He had a shot at it.
He did have a shot at it.
It's just one of those things that, like, you don't kick the extra point, you call a timeout, and then you come out with a vertical, which is the least completed percentage pass in high school football.
Yeah, but he's one-on-one back
That's
there.
right there.
He could have caught that.
He should have caught
that.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's a tough
Madison.
catch.
It's a tough
Laying
catch,
out
but I mean,
for it.
that's from the 17-yard line. That's as good a look as you're going to get.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well,
Man.
Care less for Oscar Smith yelling like that. But whatever.
if there's-
It's an emotional game.
Yeah, if there's a, I mean, they both. I hated the cliche of there's no losers today, but hell, man, that was a great game.
That was a great game.
yeah.
Heck of a
It's like
game.
the end of Friday Night Lights movie.
Yeah,
Man, this
We gotta-
is
we
awesome,
gotta
man.
take
How
my
you guys
kids out.
on?
I can't stay much longer, but this has been
Yeah.
fun. I wish it was a better outcome for. I'm in Northern Virginia homer, but so
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's a heck of a game.
Yep.
yeah.
Hey, I
great guys.
appreciate you guys having me. It was I appreciate everything you guys did for Northern Virginia football this year. It's really cool to have this outlet for us, and hope you guys can keep it going.
Man,
Yeah,
this
no.
was awesome. This was awesome having you guys on here. Apologize to your wives from Mesa and I for all you guys. We appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to get yelled at myself, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, my kids are screaming at me right now.
Well, I told you. I told you what my wife said the other day. So we had we went to did like a Christmas train ride thing last week, and I told my wife I really wanted to watch the Madison Lake Braddock game. Like, I wish I could stay at home, and she said, "Well, you should have beat Madison last week."
Oh,
Good. That's a solid
Oh,
That's
brutal.
solid.
All right, guys, take care. Thank you.
Hey, see you
Dude,
guys.
awesome.
Hey, happy holidays to all
See
you
you
guys.
Hey guys, likewise.
thanks, Dash. Thanks,
Yeah, see
Spencer.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
stuff.
Yeah, no. We appreciate it, man. It was awesome.
See you, fellas.
See you.
Wow, man, Coach Mesa, what a day, what
What
a
a
game.
game.
Holy smokes! Up to
Yeah.
almost 600 fans tuned in and watching the live.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That was fun. That was fun. It was nice having Voss and those guys.
That was really fun, and a couple guys couldn't get on. Coach Richards reached out, and he said he was the only device he had. He was watching the game on at that moment. He said he couldn't switch off the game; it was too good. So I understood that. Man, I can't wait to break this one down with you. Our final breakdown of the season.
Yeah.
Our goodbye for the 2024, right?
Yeah, but also coming up this week, I believe, is our fantasy draft.
Fantasy draft.
And I thought who I know I'd take number one. I think I may have changed my mind who I might take number one with the over if I have the number one overall pick, depending on how we're going to play this.
I mean, it might be Roger Craig. We saw Roger Craig and Tom Rathman, number 24, running tonight. He was riding Tom Rathman a couple times, kind of behind him, right? It was looked like a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
That's one of the best high school games I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that was amazing. That game. And what's odd is we both said, if it's a close game, we think Madison's going to pull it out. If it's a blowout, we thought Oscar Smith would be on there. But it ended up being the opposite way. And So I'm first. I want to say congratulations. I know we have one or two people from Oscar Smith to listen to us on this.
Yeah, congratulations.
The fact that team's coming back has got to be terrifying.
Wow,
it's got to be absolutely terrifying that team's coming back. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. That being said, because we're in Northern Virginia, I mean, Madison represented Northern Virginia about the best you possibly could.
Yes.
And I feel awful for those guys. I want to do that kid. You have a kid trying to get back over into the Oscar Smith side. Don't do that. Yeah, I feel awful for those kids. I mean, that is a pain, and it'll go away, and you'll forget about it, and you'll eventually get yourself to where you can remember all the great things that they did for 4 years. But right now it hurts, and I get it.
But you know what? I mean, honestly, like it all comes. Yeah, I get it. You want to believe me. You want to win, obviously. But God, if there's ever stories you could tell.
Yeah.
I mean, we were losing the state title game, and we threw a last second. I mean, what a game! What a way to you went out on your sword.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they were embarrassed. And in reality, they gave Oscar Smith that game by turning over the ball as many times they did.
They
did. Turn over a ball 4 times to a team as talented as Oscar Smith. Yeah. You shouldn't lose by 1. You should lose by 41. Is how much you lose.
Right. It gets a team that good.
And that's a testament for how good that Madison defense actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah. Kudos to Madison, the coaches, the players, the players' families, the coaches' families.
Yeah.
Everyone. And we'll obviously get more into that on this weekend. But wow. I'm going to go up and talk to my wife in a few minutes because she's going to say, "Oh, there you are," 2 hours later. and I'm going to say, you're not going to believe what just happened in this game.
Yeah.
Man.
She's like, that's great. Can you take out the trash?
Yeah, she is. She's going to say, I don't care. She's going to say, were you coaching in it?
Well, that was fun, man. I appreciate those guys coming on.
It was fun. And
Coach Voss, a lot of insight, man. It was fun having him on.
Coach Voss, that's a guy. I don't know if you could do it in the I know in the NFL you can do it, right? You can bring guys in as consultants, right? Like during like teams brought in, the Chiefs brought in like a couple coaches as consultants for their playoff run last year. But like you're talking about an expert in all things Madison, man. I was calling Madison's plays over here.
Yeah.
Good coach. It's a good coach.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, Coach Mason,
that was fun. That was awesome.
It was a blast, buddy. We'll do this again soon and do our breakdown and then start preparing for the draft in the new year.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Well, from all Hitches, one of our last times this holiday season. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you next time.
See ya.